All right, guys, welcome back to Remotely Wasted. This is, I believe, our Week 11 college football episode. It's
Might be week
Thanksgiving
12.
at the time. Yeah, it might be Week 12. I think
Who
it
fucking
is.
cares?
It doesn't matter. It's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody except for Texas fans, Oklahoma State fans, probably Florida Gator fans.
Miami fans, fucking whoever we just played this past week, North Alabama, eat
and
shit.
and Michigan fans too, just because.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why not? Fuck them. What's going on with my headset?
But yeah, it is it's coming down to the wire. It's the last week of the regular season before we go into the conference championship games. We just had, a decent little weekend. Actually, I'm if I'm being honest, I think last weekend was pretty terrible. Like it was probably the most boring weekend we've had this whole season. I don't think any games were really that interesting. Um yeah, I didn't like last weekend at all, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, you for obvious reasons,
Me
but
neither. I mean, there was a couple alright games. I feel like my game of the week was kind of an easy pick, but there was really two that you could really kind of go between. Me personally, but
yeah,
um,
I'm almost. I wouldn't say I'm positive we're gonna have
we
the
might
same
have the
game of the
similar.
week, but there's a chance.
It's like a 50
Um,
50.
so the past few weeks since the committee's been putting out the rankings, we've been starting off the show by giving you guys our personal top six. So I guess we could start with that. I did my so like last
Mine's
week
the exact same.
last week mine was like right on par with the committees. Mine's changed a lot since last week. Just based on like how some teams performed. I still have Bama at six. I'm adamant that they're a better team than Oregon. If you want to, I'd rather have Texas at six than Oregon.
I still have Oregon at sixth. I mean, unfortunately, I don't even like Oregon, but just how dominant they're playing. Yeah, they're not playing the same type of competition, but they're very well rounded. Um, we'll actually see what they're made of these next 2 weeks, and then
Yeah,
when they play Washington again. So it'll Oregon will work itself out. Um, the Oregon Washington will. Maybe not. I don't know. There's a situation that could potentially play out where there's just absolute fucking chaos, and there's like 6-1 lost teams, and then it's a who fucking knows who's gonna get in. It's almost like who beat who last, and I don't know, but um, I don't know. I like Alabama for some reason. I never like Alabama, but this Alabama team's cool. They're not like they're
because
not
they're
the
underdogs.
they're underdogs. They're not the traditional Bama team. They're not they don't have the traditional Bama quarterback. Jalen Milroe is just doing his thing. He's out there just. It's like I don't know. He's got a different vibe about him. I like him,
There's been
but
two Alabama teams I think I've ever liked. It's this one, and I don't know if you remember the one from I believe it was 2014 with Blake Sims as the quarterback.
that's the tight end. No, that's not the tight end. Was he from OU?
No, 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 no. He was just
Who am I
a
thinking of?
quarterback that was there, and
No, I don't know that team.
he ended up playing like running back in the NFL. Like I don't think he really got like
They have
playing
Mark
time
Ingram
like
then?
that.
Or they
It
Mark Ingram
was
was there like 2012, I'm pretty
I
sure,
think it
if you
was
want to
while
go.
Derrick Henry was there. It was the same year you guys went to the playoffs against Oregon. It was the first year of the playoff.
No,
That
yeah,
was
we
the
got our
only
shit
two
pushed in.
two Alabama teams I've liked. That one and this one. I like Alabama. I think they're just like if we're being real, put Alabama and Oregon on the same field. I don't think Oregon's coming out of that game
I,
victorious.
I mean, they got a good shot. I mean, they both have a control your own destiny type
Yeah.
shot to the playoff. It's not like either team is really needing help. It's
Yeah.
they went out, they're in. I mean, yeah, Alabama could use a Texas loss, would help them out a little bit, but it's not really necessary because I mean, if they beat Georgia, they're in regardless. Maybe I honestly maybe they still might not make it, which is
No,
which is the crazy thing.
this would be the year because normally like
But
Georgia
it
Alabama is normally a meaningless game. Like
but I would say if Oregon wins, they're conference championship, that's almost a guarantee because the committee's so high on them.
Yeah.
And if Alabama beats Georgia, it's like it's maybe it could be like a 60-40 either way. I don't know. But me personally, I would say if Alabama beats Georgia, they deserve to be in. And
Yeah.
then Georgia, they're out.
Yeah, I mean, I think at that point you got to
You
go
can't put
with the
both. You can't
conference
put
champion winners need to be in ahead of people that lost.
you can't beat both. You can't put both of them in, especially if there's 2 to 3 undefeateds sitting there. That there's not a single universe that should happen. My personal opinion.
No, there's
Don't
no way you could have both of them in
don't
there
fucking at me
unless
in the comments. I'll destroy you.
other teams start losing. Like, and there's like like you said, like a scenario where there's multiple one losses.
Yeah.
There's no way you could have both of them in. It is so rigged if both of them
Yeah.
get in. There's no
The
way it's not rigged.
SEC favoritism is real. But all right, so you got Bama at 6. I got Oregon at 6. Who you got at 5?
I moved Florida State down to 5 just because they did struggle a little bit early on against North Alabama, even with Jordan Travis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's just how you gotta get. And then, I mean, the team right now is a question mark until we see them play on Saturday against Florida. If they come out and they look just the same, they'll probably get and Michigan and Ohio State are playing too. So like one of those is getting knocked out anyway. Florida State's going to be in the top 4 probably at the end of this weekend as long as they don't blow it against Florida, in my opinion.
I still have Michigan at 5. They have shown me nothing. They're the last 2 weeks without Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, they've looked bad, but they ain't looked as good as they have been. Shit, maybe he's the sign keeper. Maybe he had all the signs, and that now that Connor Stallions is gone and Jim Harbaugh is gone, they're falling apart. Who knows? Conspiracy. Put your tinfoil hats on. I'm gonna run upstairs get my aluminum foil. They just haven't looked good. Their schedule is trash. Their big wins, Maryland and Penn State is sorry. Penn State is fucking dog shit. How they're sitting at 11 is beyond me. They should be below. Maybe not. I was supposed to say, they should be below these other 2 lost teams, but I forgot OU lost to fucking Kansas. But I would say I would bet lots of money Ole Miss and OU would beat that Penn State team.
No, I think if we're going purely off of eye test, Penn State should be behind those teams.
Because they're going off the eye test for Michigan. Like that's the only thing you have to wager off them. But then their best win, that you're not rating Penn State accordingly off the eye test. Like Penn State, yeah, no, because
they're rating Penn State off a resume because their 2 losses are against two and 3. So teams. It looks way better than it is.
It's just inflating Michigan and Penn State for a higher ranking for when they play each other. Granted, every other game that Penn State's played, they've kind of dominated, but the teams that they've played have been, pretty utter dog shit. Like West Virginia is fucking trash. Delaware is barely a football team. Illinois is terrible.
Iowa's pretty good.
Iowa's good, but they have no fucking offense. So you're gonna score eventually. Northwestern sucks. Massachusetts sucks. They barely fucking lost Ohio State, but only because of their defense. They almost lost to Indiana, blew Maryland out. Maryland's so all over the place.
Yeah.
Barely lost to Michigan, and then I guess you'd consider that a blowout to another shitty Rutgers team. So like their best win, Maryland and Iowa, but Iowa's not even a good win. Like almost any team in this top 25 could beat Iowa, I would say.
I mean, for the most part,
I said almost. I'm gonna say every one of them, but I still stand by the majority of the top 25 has a better offense than Penn State. So like all you gotta do is just outscore them.
I do think you raised a good point about how the committee is kind of like using Penn State to boost Ohio State and Michigan. Because if you look at it,
because the winner of that Ohio State Michigan game is going to be won after this weekend.
Oh, probably so. And then if you notice, they're kind of doing the same thing for Georgia and Bama. Because why the fuck is Tennessee ranked 21? They shouldn't even be in the top 25 at this point. They can't hang with the good teams.
They have got their shit pushed in. for a hot minute, like blown out to Georgia, blown out to Missouri. Yeah, 14 is that a blowout? Yes
Close
and no.
enough.
And losing to a shitty Florida team, barely beating A&M, like barely beating Kentucky. Like this team is not good. I am very disappointed because I was very high on this team.
No,
I
I
was
like Tennessee. Don't get me wrong, but
I
they
do
don't
too.
deserve to be in the top 25 right now.
No, they don't. Not even close. Maybe 25. Maybe 25. But what are we doing, bro? Like they're dog shit. Get them out. Penn
No,
State should
they
be
do this to boost
yeah,
the
the
higher
remaining team.
teams.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
yeah, that's
There,
what they
there's
do.
there's a slight agenda behind it, so it is what it is. But Michigan has nothing to go off of. They don't have a fucking leg to stand on. There's no reason they should be three.
Yeah,
The fact that Washington's behind them is mind blowing. Washington has the best resume in college football at this point. The Pac-12 has already proven itself to be really fucking good this year, and they've made it through unscathed. So how they're behind them too? I heard this thing. It was basically like they kept Washington at 4 to kind of prevent Georgia and Washington potentially playing together in the first matchup of the playoff.
hmm.
Because the loser of this game might jump Georgia, and then if Georgia beats Bama, they jump back to 1. Washington wins out, they'll probably jump to 2. Georgia Washington won't play. It would potentially
Until the
be a
championship,
potentially
essentially.
if they
Yeah,
both make it, yeah. So it would more than likely be Georgia Alabama or whoever the fuck sitting at 1 plays probably Florida State
or
if we win
state.
out.
Yeah,
I don't see us getting any higher. The winner of these two fucking shit teams would be at 2, maybe 3, and then Washington, based off what they do, or Oregon would jump up. So, if everything goes according to plan, Georgia and Washington shouldn't play in the first round, and I think that's why they kept them at 4 for now. I don't know. It kind of doesn't make sense because you could just put them at 2 now, and then it would still work out the same way. I don't understand it.
no, it's a weird thing. So when we go up to number 4, that's where I have Michigan. Um, I do give Michigan credit on the Penn State win. And, like we just said, Penn State's not a great team, but up until
Their
that
defense
point,
is really good.
the Michigan eye test looked really good. But the reason I don't have Michigan any higher is because since they've had to play better competition, we said this whole season, their toughest games are going to be Penn State, Maryland, Ohio State, and 2 of those games they've struggled in already, and they're probably going to not like. I don't think they're going to win against Ohio State, but even if they do, it's still going to be really close. So they don't really pass the eye test anymore to me, and they
I
don't
think
have a good resume.
I think it'll shake out kind of like this Penn State scoreline. I don't see these because they both have really good defenses. Um, they both got solid running games, but McCarthy hasn't looked that great. I don't think he's thrown a touchdown pass in like 3 weeks, maybe
Yeah, no,
2.
he hasn't. I think it's the
It's
past 2 games.
it's all been the defense and Blake Corum, vulture and touchdowns and within the 5. But yeah, whatever. It's
Like
cool. Good
Corum's
for
got 20 touchdowns on the season though. I'll give him
good
credit.
good for him. I mean, I fuck with it. I ain't knocking Blake Corum. I'm just saying like that's what they're doing, which is it's working. So whatever. But uh, I think Ohio State just has the better offense. I don't know if Travion Henderson's like a better running back than Blake Corum, but he is very good. And I don't know. I seen a stat. It was like in this matchup, like the last like 6 or 8 games, like the team that rushes for the most yards wins. Michigan's outrushed Ohio State by like 380 or some shit. So it's basically like if you're going off, history, it's basically the running back. So like who's got the better running back, who's got the better O
Yeah.
line. I would say Michigan probably has the better O line and maybe a slight edge on the running back, but I wouldn't count Travion Henderson out. They also have Marvin Harrison. That dude's just you can put the whole defense on him and he still might catch the ball.
Yep.
So I don't really know what they're gonna do there. I think it's really based off this dude right here, Ole Miss McCord, whether or not he has piss running down his leg in the game, or if he grows a sack and stays in the pocket and makes accurate throws.
Yeah, I mean, I will say when it comes to the QB situation for both of these teams, I do think McCarthy's the better quarterback of
Yeah,
the two,
I would say, yeah.
significantly in my
He's
opinion,
like
and
borderline Heisman.
he's cooler under pressure too. He's won this game before.
Yep.
Kyle McCord's never played in this game. This is the biggest game of almost every year, it seems like, as far as regular season goes. It's the
Yeah.
biggest rivalry in college football. Might be arguably biggest rivalry in sports, besides like Red
I don't know
Sox
about that.
Yankees. Like, I mean, I don't know who else you could compare it to. It's
I'd say
one
the
of the.
Iron Bowl might be bigger than this one.
You think so? I don't think so.
Not like recently, but
I mean, the hatred's real. I mean, you had that one guy that like killed those trees and stuff. Like,
poisoned them.
yeah, I mean, like there's some. It's like a top three
Yeah, but these teams
rivalry.
also, you know, viciously hate each other. So
Michigan and Ohio State is getting pretty like personal amongst the fans and stuff. Each are accusing the other of cheating. Like Ryan, they think Ryan Day is the person that started this whole thing and
so
his
what if he did?
family.
This
It's an interesting rivalry, but
I hope it was Ohio State. I hope they did it. I really do. It just makes it even better. Makes the
what's funny
game.
is I've always hated Ohio State way more than Michigan, but now
Yeah, me too.
I like Ohio State way more
No, I still
after
don't
this
like either
year.
of them.
I don't like Ohio State, but I like them better than Michigan. I'll just say
I
that.
can't stand
I'm rooting
Ohio
for
State,
Ohio
bro.
State.
I don't like any Ohio State. I've not met one decent Ohio State fan.
I
There's a
will.
guy on fucking that I was like friends with on Facebook. I went to basic training with. Been friends with this motherfucker for like 8 years. I had unfriended this motherfucker because he was an Ohio State fan, and he's also an Eagles fan too. And I'm just like, what are you saying? Like, are you reading like what you're saying before you're posting? Because it's like come back down a little bit. Jesus, yeah, I had unfriended him. I couldn't do it. I couldn't see it anymore.
Ohio State. I mean, you got to give it to Ohio State though. They are probably like a top three football program of all time.
Yeah,
Like
probably.
I'd say
I
like
mean,
Bama, Ohio State, probably Oklahoma. Like if we're going all time, possibly Michigan.
Michigan might be like 2, 3 based off just like wins alone.
They got the most wins, but I mean, like they
Yeah, they won a championship in a hot minute. Ohio State, they don't have a lot of championships. I mean, what they got 3?
they might have, but they got a bunch of wins. Maybe I'm just doing a recency bias on Ohio State
Yeah, I feel
too
like it
as
is. I feel
well.
like it's recency bias,
And
but
they produced a lot of NFL talent as
they
well, though,
do. They do.
which is
They're
another factor to consider.
like a wide receiver factory. They produce a lot of good, edge rushers and shit. So, but anyways, I got Florida State at 4. I just even with the loss to Jordan Travis, I think we're fine. We have better wins than Michigan, in my opinion. That LSU, I'll still hold on to that LSU win. They're probably gonna have the Heisman champion or the Heisman Trophy winner on their team, and we beat them. Um, and then all of our other big wins are kind of coming back, creeping back up a little bit. Clemson's starting to catch fire.
They're 24
So
now. Yeah.
Michigan's only good wins, Penn State. That's it. We have
Yeah.
LSU and Clemson. It's better. We might not have looked as good, but we're also not under investigation for cheating. So suck my nuts, Michigan. I I don't know. Personal opinion.
Yeah. I mean, you got to put them way above Michigan at this point because, I mean, I don't have them above Michigan right now just because of the injury to Travis. But like as
If
far as resume goes, Florida State definitely has the better
if I
resume.
wasn't opposed to putting undefeated teams below teams with losses, I would have them fucking behind Alabama. I'd have Michigan at 8.
No, if we're going off the eye test, I think Bama probably beats Michigan. Texas probably
Probably
Michigan wins
not.
that one.
Oregon, they get
Oregon,
their shit pushed in.
I think Michigan will beat Oregon.
No chance.
Um, I think Oregon's the most overrated team in college football. It's
They
probably
they
my
might be.
fourth
They might
week.
be. But that offense is fucking insane.
But no, I definitely think Florida State has a better resume than Michigan. And at this point, you can argue they have a better resume than Ohio State at this point because I mean Penn State, we've talked about it, they're not really that impressive of a team.
But they beat Notre Dame.
Notre Dame lost Clemson. I mean, Clemson did beat Notre Dame. Florida State beat Clemson. I mean, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, I kind of think Florida State. It's arguable at this point that they do have a better resume than Ohio State.
I could get on that wagon. I'll fuck with it, but
I ended up going with Ohio State at number 3.
Yeah, me too.
Um, I don't know. They just really haven't struggled a whole lot. Like, I mean, like offensively, they haven't been the greatest, but defensively, they've been lights out almost the whole season. And I don't see them getting beat until the playoffs.
Yeah, I realistically don't. I can't see Michigan winning this game. It's gonna take some big turnovers, some fourth down stops, some big plays from Michigan's offense. Like Blake Corum busting a big run for a touchdown. 40, 50 yard gain, something to get him in to the red zone. Um, I just can't see it. I can't. Because I'm willing to bet they're probably going to just stack the box and make McCarthy beat them. I don't know. Does Michigan have them guys on the outside? I don't watch Michigan football that a lot.
They got a what's his name, Roman Wilson. I think it's
Yeah,
like
he's solid, but is
he's
is
pretty
he
good.
is he better than Ohio State's #1 cornerback? I don't know. Maybe.
The one thing I'll say leaning towards Michigan's favor is they are at Michigan. Michigan fans are upset about this whole
Yeah,
cheating
it's
scandal and
gonna be very,
everything.
very hostile. It's gonna be very loud. I'm all for it. I really don't care who wins. I don't give a shit. Because either of them making the playoffs, they're probably not gonna win the whole thing. And neither of these teams beat Georgia. Neither of these teams beat Bama. Uh, Depending on which Washington team shows up, neither of them are outscoring that offense. As long as it's not fucking raining, because every time it's raining, Washington struggles. Clear skies, good fucking luck. Cause the only two times Washington struggled is this past week. It was raining. Arizona State. It was raining. Coincidence? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Could
So
be.
that's all I just want to say about that. I don't think they beat Oregon. Um, I would say maybe Missouri could beat one of them.
I mean, like I think Missouri's been a really really good team.
Arizona beats both of them. I'm gonna say that.
Arizona's on
That's a hot
fire.
take. That's a hot take. But
Well,
Arizona beats both of them.
currently, they
Not maybe
got
that might be a little outlandish.
they got my Sooners playing Arizona and Alamo Bowl, and I'm like,
Ooh,
no,
yeah,
I
y'all
don't
fucked.
want
Y'all
that.
fucked.
I don't want like that's the last team. Like I'd rather play
Anybody
any
else?
other team. Like I'm
Y'all
being
get.
dead ass
I think
serious.
y'all get blown out. I don't think it's close.
Like I don't want to play Arizona. That team's too hot right now. That team is
They
they're
are
15.
cooking.
Like and honestly, like
They should.
you could argue like putting them at like 11.
Yeah, I would. I think they would beat Penn State by a country mile.
No, that team's on fire right now.
Yeah,
So
I love Arizona.
I'm assuming our top two is the same because I have Washington at 2
Yeah,
right now.
Georgia. Yeah,
Um,
my one's the same every week until they fucking lose, or until they prove me otherwise that they're don't deserve it. Like if the winner of Ohio State Michigan, like that's a very big win. Coupled with the Penn State ranking win, whatever. If Ohio State wins this game, so they'd have a win at number three on the road. They'd have a win. Did they play Penn State on the road? No, Michigan played them on the road. I think they had them at home. So
they played them at home, yeah.
they have a win against Michigan, number 3 on the road. Penn State, I think, was 9 or some shit when they played them at home. So that's 3-9. Notre Dame when they played them, I think was like also right around 9. I don't know if that was on at home or away, but that's 3. And then I'm pretty sure Maryland was ranked when they beat them. So like that's a pretty good resume. I'd really have to look and kind of weigh it to Georgia's resume to maybe me personally switch them, but it's just not enough for me to knock off the back to
Yeah.
back defending champs until Georgia either barely wins a game like by 3 type thing. I think they have Georgia Tech this week, so like if they barely beat Georgia Tech, I'd be like, okay, I would consider moving them off. But until something like that happens, it's probably not happening for me.
Yeah, I mean the thing. So we obviously both have Georgia at number 1. Like that game was so crazy against Tennessee because the very first play, Tennessee just runs it all the way for a touchdown, and I'm thinking like,
Dude, this happens every week. Georgia gives up the first score of the game every week, and they'll be down 7-0. And you're like, oh, okay. Is this it? Nope. I'm pretty sure every fucking week this happens.
it
It
was
doesn't.
so frustrating because I thought for sure,
All
and
right,
they
so
blew them out.
they gave up the first score to Tennessee, first score to Ole Miss. They got a field goal, and then they gave up a touchdown to Missouri. So yeah, it's close. Um, First score to Florida.
That is crazy.
This was definitely a first score. I remember this. Vanderbilt. Yep.
Oh my
That's
god,
that's like
they've
5
given up
weeks.
the first score like every game. Jesus. I think they got the first score on Kentucky.
They
Yeah,
blew
they
Kentucky's ass
did.
out. They almost lost to Auburn. First score to Auburn. First
Auburn
10
got the
points to
first two
Auburn.
scores. Yeah.
I don't know. This one might not be, but it was
Yeah.
7-7. So yeah, they answered. Um,
South Carolina might have got the first score on this one too.
First
No, yeah,
score.
they did. They did. Yeah.
Did they get this field goal off first? No chance. Yeah, Jesus Christ. That was a
But still,
bloodbath.
that's like
That's
so
Ball
many
State.
of these games have been them giving up their first score.
Literally, like all going all the way back to fucking Auburn. Minus Kentucky, they've given up the first score. So it's you could bet the fucking farm almost that somebody's gonna score on them on the first drive, but then they correct and then they come back and just beat the shit out of them. So like that's product of how good coach they are and how good they are. But like it's
They
almost
dominate these games. Though. That's what's
it's
crazy
almost a
about it.
guarantee they're gonna get scored on first, and you're like it gives you a slight bit of hope, and you're like, oh okay, maybe this is the week. Psych, get fucked.
I really feel like nobody could beat this Georgia team right now. Like I thought through most of the season, I was like, this is a weaker Georgia team than we've seen in a while.
It
Like this,
is kind of,
they look way more beatable than
but
in years
the
past.
rest of college football is also weak. Like this is a weaker Ohio State team than we've had. This is a weaker Michigan team, but some would further argue this is the best Michigan team we've had. I don't know. This is the best Washington team you've ever seen. Uh, this is the best we've been in fucking 10
10
years. This
years,
is the best Oregon team you've
probably
probably
another
that's
10
probably ever
years.
probably ever. This is probably better than the Mariota Oregon team. I would say
The only other team I would compare it to is that one that went to the national championship against
Auburn.
Auburn. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
the Anthony
Uh,
Thomas and stuff.
that's probably the best Texas team since fucking Vince Young.
Worst Bama team in
Worst
years, but
Batman
they're
team
still great.
and maybe since like the first couple years when Nick Saban took over. Best Missouri team and
Since
fucking
2008, probably
yeah, whatever. Best Louisville team I think ever.
ever. Yeah,
This is better than Lamar Jackson's Louisville team, which is crazy. Penn State, they're always fucking 9-2, so who cares?
standard Ole Miss, standard
Standard.
Oklahoma, really.
As it's a down year for LSU. Best Arizona team probably ever. Maybe
Best
best
Oregon
Oregon State
State,
team ever.
standard
But
Iowa
but
team.
up here at
Dude.
the top, like this is there's a lot of people on kind of down years or coming back into the scene, but they're not fully there, fully established. Georgia's been here for like 4 or 5 years. Like
Yeah,
they're just sitting here and they just keep reloading and reloading. Alabama, dropped the ball a little bit. They got caught lacking, and Georgia took their spot. But they're
yeah.
right there. They're right there. Even on a down year for Alabama, they're still up there. So yeah, I mean you might be right. Georgia, they have a very very good chance to three-peat. It's
Like
gonna be,
I wouldn't be surprised. Like this is the best year for them to lose,
but also the best for them to win it
but
again.
it's just like they got just really good odds of winning too. So
Their defense is fucking nasty.
and I mean the offense isn't nothing to scoff at either. I mean they're
They
just
have
all around a
arguably
great
the
team.
best player in college football at tight end, which is weird to say because
Yeah,
tight ends are never.
probably like Kirby Smart, especially if he wins this championship, he's probably surpassed Saban as the best coach in college football. Like it's getting really close at this point.
What does Saban have like fucking what
Six,
six?
seven. He has seven actually,
And Kirby would have three in a row.
but
Like
three in a row.
how do you?
Saban doesn't have three in a row. Like
Yeah, but he's got six.
I think of all time, Saban's better, but I think like in this current moment, you could say Kirby Smart's just like the best coach. in
since like
college
the
football.
playoff era.
Yeah.
I guess that's really kind of like where you have to start it, like playoff era and then BCS era. It's really
BCS era.
broken into two. But
Before we move on to our next segment, I'm going to take a little bathroom break. Uh, I'm actually drunk for this episode.
hey, let's go. Yeah, I don't know, man. Georgia, they're very good. They're very very good. It's gonna be very hard for someone to beat them. It's they're gonna have a defense to match and an offense to match. Like I would say this is even Georgia's best offense. Carson Beck's first year, but he's playing phenomenal. So, but I can't see Ohio State, Michigan beating them. I think Washington could give it a really really good shot if the offense comes out and they're cooking, firing on all cylinders. It could be a shootout. Uh, Florida State. I have no idea. I have no idea. It really just depends on our new backup quarterback. Oh, he's not new, but new starter. What he's looking like. Oregon could be a very interesting matchup for Georgia. I would say. I know Nick hates him, but I think they'd
Fuck
give.
Oregon.
I think they could give Georgia, maybe one of the better shots to lose out of the couple teams. Yeah, Texas is there's no chance. Bama, it really depends on Milrow and his decision making and can he run. If he can run, then yeah, I think they could beat them. So out of the top eight, that's what three teams that really have a shot. So I was basically talking, can
Who could be who
anybody
could be
who
beat
could beat
Georgia right
Georgia?
now?
Ohio State, Michigan, no. Washington, it's gonna have to be their best day. Their offense is gonna have to be firing on all cylinders. Perfect weather. Um, I think they could. It really depends. Can Georgia's offense or defense stop the Washington offense? Because that Washington offense is insane.
Yeah.
They got McMillan back, so they have the best receiving core in college football, in my opinion. Dylan Johnson, they've been getting the run game going. Not so much this last week, but it is what it is. And then their defense is actually getting a little better as the season's going on, which is good for them. So it helps them out a little bit. So yeah, maybe it's that had to be like a 60-40 matchup, and it could really kind of fluctuate. Who fucking knows? It really just depends on Rodemaker, what he's looking like, and then which version of our defense shows up. Um, Oregon, I think has a really really solid shot. But they got to beat Washington. So like, can they do that? Texas, absolutely not. And then he came back when I was talking about Bama. So I don't know. Georgia has a pretty easy shot. They basically got Bama in the way. But I'm kind of hoping they get caught lacking looking ahead to the Bama game and Georgia Tech comes in there. Because Georgia Tech is a fucking terrifying team this year. They've ruined Miami season because that was the downfall of their year. As soon as they lost to Georgia Tech, season's
That
over.
that was like I feel like we're gonna reflect on that game in a few years because like I bet Mario Cristobal lasts maybe another year or two, and we're gonna be like that's where it
That
started
was
his
it.
downhill slide.
That they ruined North Carolina season, so they're not new to it. It really kind of depends on. It was Georgia, actually focused for the game, and then is Haynes King is he cooking or not? So I would love to see it. I would love to see it. If Georgia loses to Georgia Tech, where do you think they fall?
If Georgia loses to Georgia Tech, I feel like
I'd
they
say
fall
they
to
fall
6 or
below
7.
Alabama.
I think
That's a
they
that's a worse loss than any of these one loss teams have because they lost to them. Texas lost to OU, who's sitting at 13. Oregon lost to number 4. Georgia Tech's not ranked. They have like fucking 4. I think they might need a win to become bowl eligible, or they could be sitting at
no,
Jesus
I mean
Christ.
you're probably right. They probably dropped to
Oh my god, I'm fucking retarded.
7 or 8. I would say maybe.
They're 6-5. Okay, so they just became bowl eligible, beating Syracuse. So like, that's a terrible, terrible loss. That's worse than the Kansas loss for y'all. And look where y'all fell.
Yeah, I mean, I would say
It would have to drop below all
probably,
of these
yeah,
teams.
yeah, they probably moved down to, I would say, 9, and
They
then
would
everybody else kind of scoots back after that.
they'd be sitting right behind Bama. And then they'd play Bama right there. So like
But I
so,
also wouldn't be surprised if they only moved down to like 6 or something. You know what I mean? Like I just wouldn't be
yeah, like the
surprised.
best one loss team. Like
Like I
no, bro,
wouldn't be
you lost
surprised at
to the
all.
worst team. It just that wouldn't make sense to me. But imagine Georgia loses to Georgia Tech, right? And then they beat Bama. Do they get in? Yeah,
I mean,
probably. They still get
probably
in. They
probably
still get in.
so. But I
Uh,
mean, at that point, if you still got an undefeated Florida State, undefeated Washington, undefeated Ohio State, or
they're four.
Michigan State,
They're four.
yeah, they probably get in at 4. But then, like, you got an 11-1 Texas, like at that point, probably, or 12-1 at this point, because they're probably gonna beat Tech. They probably won a Big 12 championship.
And
Like,
they
they
would
really gonna
also
get left out of the playoffs
they
for
also
Georgia.
beat the yeah, so they'd be the Big 12 champion. They'd be the SEC champion. Texas beat your team that you just beat in the SEC championship, and their one loss is, hopefully against an OU team with only two losses. So like their loss isn't as bad as your loss. I would say Texas would get in over them.
But you could also make the argument like, hey, we beat the same team you beat. So I mean, like,
They,
but then
they
then you're comparing losses, and OU is a way better loss than the Georgia Tech. It's
and it
way
wasn't
way
it
better.
was very close. It was
And
one game
it was a
winning drive.
rivalry game.
It is a
Like
rivalry game. Well, this would also be a rivalry game. Georgia would lose, but like it's not as big of a rivalry.
it's yeah. Nobody is like, oh, we
Oh,
gotta watch.
Georgia Tech.
Does
Yeah,
he even
well,
have a name like for it? Like I don't think it does.
it might. I don't know, but I don't know. It's not gonna happen. But like hypothetically, like it'd be kind of cool to see just a little chaos right
I
before.
want chaos. I ain't even gonna lie. Like I want the craziest shit to happen this
Hey,
weekend.
as long as nothing happens to my team, we got our chaos already. Like, fuck, leave us alone.
I want all the chaos because like it'd be so boring if it was just like everything just went exactly how it looks like it's gonna go.
For you, maybe we'd be in.
Well, see, I'm not. My team's not in the playoffs anymore,
Yeah,
so
you
like
don't give a fuck.
I'm just rooting for chaos at this point.
Yeah,
I just
I
want the crazy, but I mean, like I prefer Florida State to make it though. So
I just want Washington and us to make it. I preferably don't want to play them first, but I would like to see us both make it because it's something new. Washington, they've been fucking forever, and it's been forever for us too. So Michigan was just there, couldn't get the job done, and then Ohio State, shit the bed. So they've had their chance. Get the fuck on. You obviously can't get it done. Yeah, kick rocks.
going from there, we have our Heisman top 5. So I really think at this point it's like a top 4 of like who's really gonna win
Yeah,
the
it's
Heisman.
four. I have like an honorary mention. I got JT sitting at 5. I mean, his stats are still good, but he's done for the year. R.I.P. my boy. Well, he's not dead, but like his season's dead. But yeah, I had to put him at 5. I think he's not on anybody's list anymore, but he's on mine. So I'm having him at 5.
No,
I'm gonna
like
keep him at 5.
how do you not got hurt? He was definitely gonna get an invitation at the very least. Like I don't think he
Yeah, for
was
sure.
gonna win, but I think he was gonna be at the ceremony, which I think would have been enough to feel good about. Um he unfortunately, yeah, he got hurt and he wasn't looking very good before he got hurt. And that I feel bad. Like I've never felt so bad for a player. I really
No,
haven't.
yeah, me
Um
neither. Me neither.
number yeah, like basically I didn't even have a number 5 like that ass. I it was just like blank because I was like, who do I even put there at this point?
Yeah,
4 I do have Marvin Harrison Jr. as well. Because his team's still alive. He's putting up great numbers.
he's
Um,
unstoppable. I don't
two
think
really
he's.
good games, he might get it.
I know. I don't think he's done enough.
I think there's
Yeah,
a pathway.
he would have to go fucking absolutely insane on Michigan, like 200 plus, 2 touchdowns, something like that, and then they would play Iowa, or yeah, they would play Iowa and absolutely fuck cook Iowa's ass. Okay, maybe then, but his stats just don't compare to the like the three QBs sitting up there at 1, 2, and 3. There's
Yeah.
it's not doable. Those motherfuckers are having insane seasons, and one of them's also undefeated. So like, if they lose, he's done. But
I think the pathway for Marvin Harrison Jr.
he needs
works this
Washington to
way.
lose,
He needs Oregon to lose this week in Oregon State, and
and
then
then he needs
Washington to lose to Oregon.
yep, and then he has a solid shot.
And then
But
it'll be him and Jaden Daniels, basically.
there's no fucking way. That motherfucker's got more rushing yards than he has receiving yards as a
But
quarterback.
he would also have a conference. So this is like
It's how
the
do they
conference.
favor
Yeah,
undefeateds and conference championships over
because
stats?
well, he'll just also have another game where he could put up even more stats in the conference championship.
But is he the most valuable player on that team? Like, is he the reason they're undefeated?
I mean, I think if you take him off
Could they be undefeated without him? I would say yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Because
They have a great receiving core,
they
but I
got
mean
fucking
he's another
Ibuka or
guy.
what Egg Buka, whatever the fuck he is. So he would slide into the number one, target slot, and he's just as capable. Well, not maybe not just as capable. He's not. He's like two steps below, but like he is capable to make those big plays. Um, I just it's so weird because he is like one of the best receivers of recent memory. But like, is he the reason that they're undefeated? I don't know. I don't. It's hard to say. But when you look at like the other teams with these people, like they wouldn't be shit without these dudes.
No,
Maybe
that's
maybe
true.
maybe Oregon, but
I will say like I don't think Marvin Harrison Jr. should win.
I don't think so
I
either.
don't think he will win either, but I do think there is a path for him to win. Um
Very small. You gotta tiptoe the path. It's like a little fucking 2x4 he's walking on.
yeah. Going to number 3, I have Bo Nix.
Same.
Um you could make an argument for him at
Hey,
2
he
above
was my player of the
like
week.
Penix.
This man had 6 tutties passing.
Yeah, I think he set out like the second half or like
Yeah, probably.
last quarter or something
They
like
they
that.
score so fucking quick, and a lot of I think like 2 or 3 of these were like screens and the running back doing all the work. So it's really hard to like measure QB stats when shit like that happens. Like, yeah, he threw the ball to him, but like I could make some of those throws probably. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, whatever, but it's still 6 touchdowns. So cool.
I mean, he's been great on his feet. He only has 2
He hasn't
interceptions
really
on the
done shit on
year.
his feet.
I mean, he's gotten
He got 5.
touchdowns on his. Yeah, I mean, five's pretty good compared to like
Yeah,
Penix's like
some
0 or 2 or whatever he has.
that man does not leave the pocket.
Um,
Does not unless he absolutely has
so I
to.
mean, he has what 40 total touchdowns on the
Yeah.
season at this point.
2 interceptions is really impressive. Yards are impressive. QBR impressive. So like,
I think if he wins out, he probably wins it. I don't unless
yeah,
Jade Daniels
it,
just goes off in his
it's
last game.
it's that same discussion. Do they value those conference championships and undefeated? Well, he wouldn't be undefeated, but over Jaden Daniels' individual stats, which is fucking insane.
No, it's actually ridiculous.
Like
Um,
LSU without Jaden Daniels, uh, let's go look at their schedule. I wouldn't say they would not have any wins because they did play like Army, but take like an average quarterback, just plain middle of the road like Kyle McCord or something. Put him on this fucking team and see what they do. Like this score line's way less. Way they ain't scoring 24. They're not scoring 72. It would be like 40 something maybe. They could lose this game.
yeah,
They probably would lose this game. This would be what they wouldn't be
they
scoring
easily lose
49.
that game. Yeah,
They lose this game. This one, I don't know. It really
they'll probably be the same or maybe a
this
little bit
one
less points.
less points. This is way less. They probably lose this game because he basically carried them to this win himself, and then they went. So they'd have like 4 wins. Jaden Daniels means literally fucking everything to that team. So like, I don't know. I think you put another middle of the road quarterback on Oregon. I think they have similar success. they probably still would have lost to Washington, and then they'd still be probably maybe 9 wins. They probably would maybe lose to USC.
I don't think I don't think Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix did not do this good in the SEC, and I think he still would not do this good in the SEC.
He has a better team right now than he did at Auburn, though.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, but I
So I
don't
mean,
think he does
you
the
can't
same
really
as
knock
Jaden
him
Daniels.
for his like shitty play at Auburn because like
Yeah, the team wasn't right.
he didn't have anything. This Oregon team's pretty loaded, but like LSU, like without Jaden Daniels, they're fucked.
No, absolutely.
And then
Uh,
Washington without Penix, how many of these games did they win?
I don't.
Probably, those three. Cal's a sleeper team. They might lose that game. They
They'd
lose
easily
this
lose
game
to
for sure.
Arizona.
So
They'd
I would say
easily
that's
lose to
two,
Oregon.
3-2, 3-4, 3-5, 3-6, 3-7, 3-8, 3-9, maybe 3-10.
Yeah,
So
I think that's totally possible.
they would be way worse off than LSU. Like, but Oregon without Bo Nix would probably be just fine.
I just like Bo Nix as
I
the
hate
Heisman just doesn't sound right.
it.
Like
Doesn't sit right with me.
it
No,
doesn't sound like it should happen.
it should not. I he's having a phenomenal season. He can win, and if they beat Washington, okay, it's a 50-50 between him and Jaden Daniels. It really it depends on what the voters value. But I finally moved Michael Penix off one.
Yeah, I have them at two as well.
I don't like to do it. He is undefeated. He's having a really good year, but it's
I see. I did this
it's
last week.
this. Yeah,
I did this last week because you like these
a
numbers are
1,000
undeniable.
rushing yards.
10. He has 46 total touchdowns.
What was who? Okay, I think we was looking at Manziel's last time we made a comparison. Like
He had
to
like
running.
20 touchdowns and like
Is he the last like really big mobile QB to win the Heisman?
besides Lamar,
Okay, let's look at
and
Lamar's
him.
stats.
No, yeah, I mean at this point, Jaden Daniels is just undeniable.
All right,
Total offense,
almost 5,000 total yards.
51 touchdowns, which he's pushing already.
So he's got 4,000 and like 600 yards, 4,600. So he's 300 total yards behind. 51 total touchdowns.
He has
Lamar's got
46 total touchdowns.
5 behind.
So if he gets 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, he's surpassed Lamar Jackson's Heisman here, basically.
And who do they play this week? A&M. Cooking their ass.
Could happen. Could happen.
He's cooking their ass. Yeah, come on, man. Like, it's not even fucking close. It's not even close. Like, I love Michael Penix, I do, but like, he's only passing. Yeah, he's got better wins. Yeah, they're undefeated, but like, the motherfucker got -5 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns, so he's got 33. I mean, you could argue Bo Nix should be over Penix, but I'm not putting him over him because he lost to Penix.
Yeah,
He couldn't get the job done. So if Michael Penix wins out, Bo Nix should not win over Michael Penix, regardless of his stats, unless Bo Nix throws for 1,000 yards in a game. Bo Nix should not be beating Michael Penix. You lost, and then if he loses twice, fucking kick rocks. It would be Penix and Jaden Daniels, and then it's really going to come down to do voters value conference championships, undefeated season versus a historical season.
See, I had Jaden Daniels like 4 and 5 through a lot of the
I did
season.
too, and I was really sleeping on his rushing yards until last week. And then I looked at this game, and the motherfucker was like went absolutely fucking crazy. Another like 500 total yards of offense, 6 touchdowns, 2 rushing, so 8. Actually, he should have been player of the week, but they played Georgia State, so
There's just I can't see how you don't give it to him unless he has a terrible performance against A&M, they lose, then maybe.
At this point, that's all he has to play for is the Heisman. LSU has nothing to play because he's not playing the bowl game. Like he don't give a shit what bowl game they put in. This man's gonna go out there and massacre A&M to pad his stats. Like that's the only reason. That's all he has got. Because
Give
it's gonna bump his draft stock.
give him the goddamn Heisman. Like, what's crazy is okay. Let's say
And he's number one QBR with 4 losses.
let's just say he has 4 touchdowns next week and
That's fucking insane.
300 yards.
He's a tad shy of Lamar Jackson.
Bo Nix and Michael Penix, even with the conference championship, are not going to have the same stats as him.
And Lamar Jackson, that team also had, I think, 3 or 4 losses, and he won.
And so you got to give it to Jaden Daniels at this point. There's no argument in my head unless he just plays terrible against A&M. That's the only way you'll convince me he should win the Heisman.
I agree. It's Penix or Jaden Daniels. Because then if Bo Nix beats Penix, they're 1-1. Then what are you going off of? Like interceptions and rushing touchdowns, I guess. Rushing yards, motherfucker got 128. This dude got more rushing yards than okay. Let's what am I looking for here? Who's the number 1 running back rushing yards?
It was Ollie Gordon last I checked.
14-14.
Yeah.
This man's 300 yards behind the leading running back in all of college football, rushing yards wise. That's fucking insane. Fucking insane. It's just there's no reason he shouldn't win.
No, you got to give it at this point. I mean, like, okay, he's 3rd in passing yards. And Michael Penix hasn't done anything on the ground. Caleb Williams has lost 5 games.
But he's also the defending Heisman Trophy winner too. But like,
he's got more passing yards than Bo Nix, and he's rushed for like 1,000 more yards. Yeah, like,
it makes no fucking sense. And he's played better teams. Like LSU schedule, like yeah, it's not crazy, but like they played the number 5 team in the country. Mississippi State is currently leading Ole Miss, who's number 12. Arkansas almost took down Alabama. Missouri's 9. Alabama's 8 still. And then if Florida beats us this week, they'll probably be ranked. If A&M beats LSU this week, even if fucking Jay Daniels cooks them, like they'll be ranked. So like that schedule is way, way better than Oregon's fucking 1 win against Utah, who's now unranked. Colorado, that looked good at the time, they're unranked. Washington State probably looked good at the time. They're bottom of the barrel. Utah fell completely off. USC at the time probably looked cool. Also got 5 losses. Like they have not a single good win on their schedule up at this point.
No, they don't.
Not a single one. So like, there's not a fucking universe. Bonish. Yeah, I'm gonna start calling him that. Bonish should start winning the Heisman over Jaden Daniels. It should never happen.
Jaden Daniels should get the Heisman. It's a bit ridiculous that we're even having this conversation at this point. I feel like just okay, Bo Nix or Michael Penix gonna have more wins. Like, who fucking cares? It's an individual award. Like, I get the team aspect because yeah, I get it. Like, if you're like 0-12 and you got great stats, like yeah, you shouldn't win.
Hey, you couldn't carry your team to any wins.
He's only got 3 losses. They're a top 25 team, and his like 2 of his big losses are against fucking teams ranked above them. Like,
facts.
It's ridiculous. Like, no, there's just no way. Actually, 3 of his losses, yeah. Ole Miss, all Florida State, and Alabama are all top 12 teams.
I mean, we'll see what Ole Miss does.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't checked the score recently, but
about to cost it's 7-3. About to cost me fucking money.
I don't.
Is Jackson Dart hurt? Like,
no, he was playing when the game started. I was watching it. Like, I turned it off, but I was watching it when it started. Yeah, he just played the very last play.
What the fuck is going on in this game? Why are they not cooking Mississippi State's ass?
He's only got 41 yards. He must be struggling.
He's 10 for 18 though. That's good. I don't. What is happening?
I mean, Judkins got almost 50 yards off 12 carries. That isn't terrible.
I mean, I hope they score this drive. Like, fuck.
I like Ole
God
Miss.
damn, dude.
I'd be kind of disappointed if they blew a late game like that. So we talked about. You said your player of the week was Bo
Oh,
Nix.
it was, and then I seen Jaden Daniels stat line. So Bo Niche can fucking kick rocks. It's now Jaden Daniels.
I went with
8 touchdowns is fucking insane.
no, that was crazy. I probably should have went with him. I ended up
I
going
just
with
I didn't even
Brendan
realize.
Presley. Brendan Presley's a receiver from Oklahoma State. Um, he had 15 catches for 189 yards, which anytime I see like catches,
Is that Brendan?
Brennan with two N's, no D, no D.
Who the fuck spells their name like that?
Yeah, there he was. Hit backspace and he popped up.
Yeah, I seen him.
Yeah, there he is.
Who the fuck spells their name like that?
No, it's a weird spelling. Fun fact.
Yeah, 189's got no touchdowns though.
No, I think just high receptions. I always get super impressed
Yeah,
by that.
15 going from 5, 8, 3, 9 up to 15 is like doubling his receptions, basically.
This guy is dating the offense coordinator's daughter.
Oh, it's
Um,
this guy.
it's this guy. No, they say it every game. They said it during Bedlam. They say it every game he's playing. Like, hey, this guy's so good. Like,
I bet
the
he can't
offensive
wait to
coordinator loves.
fucking. I bet he can't not wait to get the fuck off this team and maybe make it to the league. He's a senior, so he's got to go. But I is he had like of a year?
He's been all right.
I mean, he hasn't went over 1,000 yards any of the years he's been there, so he's
Yeah,
not getting drafted.
he has a brother that also played for OSU, but he transferred to Tulsa. Hasn't done very good.
What?
They're all right.
How the fuck would you transfer to Tulsa?
Probably just for more playing time.
Go literally anywhere else. I would go to a D2 school over Tulsa.
So I'm gonna go to Tulsa. I'm gonna get my ass beat every week. But yeah,
Yeah,
he had a good game. Yeah, they have to mention that he's dating the offensive coordinator's daughter like every game. I'm like, bro, it doesn't matter. Like,
I
who
mean,
cares? Like they're adults. They're like the fact that this offensive coordinator allowed him. I'm like, they're adults. Like he can't really stop them
it's
from
a
doing
consenting
anything
relationship.
amongst adults. So I mean, chill out, commentators. Um, what else do we have in our game of the week? Okay, I want Louisville, Miami.
Sam,
I knew we probably had the same
I was
one.
going Louisville, Miami, or what was the other one I was looking at? Washington, Oregon
Oh
State.
yeah, I mean, Washington, Oregon State was a good
That was a
one,
very
but
good game.
this one just had more like it just kept going back and forth, back and
It
forth.
did. It was literally just alternating. Like once they tied it up to 14, it was like boom, boom, back and forth. Like almost whoever is gonna have the ball last. I was I was expecting Louisville to blow Miami out. Van Dyke was the starter coming in the game. This man is notorious for his interceptions the last, I think, 6 weeks. He didn't have a one. He was on fire. He was cooking. This motherfucker is a bad man. This dude needs to be in the league. He's very good. I was actually very worried about him when we played him, and he didn't even have a reception against us, which is crazy. I don't know how that happens, but I'll take it. But
Almost 200 yards.
he's very very good. Plummer contrary to his stat line, I felt like he didn't have a great game. I don't know. It's kind of like one of those like vibes you get from like watching the game.
No, he's not
Um,
the most like composed player in the country. He's
I will give Miami credit, man. Their defense is really good. That front seven is very good. The running back got 93 yards on him, which it is what it is. I think when we played him, Benson had let's say like 80 maybe. So I mean that's it's a decent bit, but the front seven's very good. I think they got after Palmer quite a bit. I wish it would fucking show sacks on here. Let's see team stats. Fucking course not. 0 sacks. I'm fucking wrong. I'm retarded. I guess I didn't watch the game, but I did. I feel like they got him a couple times. What am I thinking? I I'm quitting the podcast. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I'm living in an alternate universe.
So
It was a great game. Very good game.
one thing I want to kind of discuss when it comes to this Miami team is, they look, they've shown flashes of being good,
They have.
but is 6-5 what Miami
No,
hired Cristobal
no,
for?
no, no, no.
In Miami's probably like, you got A&M, you got Oregon. Like Miami probably is like the third
They
in like schools that have the most money.
they beat A&M. I'm telling you, this Georgia Tech game was the fucking downfall for them. That should be a win. So like, bad decision, 7-4. North Carolina, okay, yeah, they could still lose that game, but coming off a fucking heartbreak loss like that could have impacted it. They only lost by 10, so maybe they only lose by 3, 7, or they win. Okay, so at that point they could be, you know, 8-3 or 7-5, right? Or what? Quick math, I'm retarded. Whatever. You get what I'm saying. Beat Clemson. Cool. Beat Virginia, who's a fucking trap team in the ACC this year. They beat North Carolina. They beat Clemson, right? Did Virginia beat Clemson? I feel like they
No,
beat Clem.
they beat North Carolina.
They beat somebody else.
I don't think they beat Clemson though.
I got 2 wins. They beat. Okay, it was just North Carolina. Oh, and Duke. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I was
that's a
thinking.
good win. Yeah, that's a good win as
Yeah,
well.
so that's a trap team. They ruined fucking North Carolina's season because that was their first loss. I'm pretty sure. Relatively close loss to NC State. We only beat them by 7, and then they only lost by 7 this game. So they're fucking like right there. They're a cunt hair away from winning these games. Pretty much all of them. They're not getting blown out. Their largest loss was 10 points. Like I would take that. So like I feel like Miami fans, fuck them, but they could be slightly optimistic going into next year. They have a pretty solid recruiting class. I'm still gonna bank on that Georgia Tech loss ruin their season.
I think so. I think Miami. I think they're in an A&M situation where I think they hired a guy that's a great recruiter. I just don't think he's not good on the X's and O's part of the game.
It might not be,
And I next year we'll tell for sure, because I don't want to write him off completely because he was very successful at Oregon.
but I mean, Oregon's always good, regardless of whoever they have. Like
That's very true.
they're always good, regardless of quarterback. That's what I'm saying. Like Bo Nix being there does not matter. Like they could have some fucking average dude and then they would compete.
That's
Like
what I'm like.
even the space
Maybe
between Mariota and Nix, like they were still good.
maybe Cristobal is not what we thought he was.
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
that's possible. I'll give him one more year. Like I'm gonna give
I,
him some leeway this year, but I'm giving him one more year. And then
he's
you
been
got
on
to
my
start
hot seat.
discussing.
He's been on my hot seat for a minute. I think he was on my hot seat, I think, before the season started.
They didn't do good last year, but there was like, you had Venables last year that didn't do good. You had Marcus Freeman who didn't do good last year. So you could kind of chalk it up, but like the difference between Freeman and Venables is they've shown improvement.
Yeah.
Cristobal is maybe gotten worse. Like
What did they do last year?
I feel like it was a very similar
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7
5-7.
losses.
So they've
So
won one more
they've
game so
improved
far.
one, and then they have Boston College,
They'll
who
probably
I'm
win.
pretty sure they handled. So there's a 2-win improvement, which
It's not bad. I mean, you could give them something. Like, it's a little credit you could give
they
them.
can't fire him. Like it, you can't fire him now because he is improving every year. So I mean, we gave Norvell, he had 2 bad years, and then this third year he won 10 games. So like I feel like you need 3 to 5 because he don't even have a full team of his own dudes yet. He still has, like, say you had sophomores on the team, he comes in, they're still on the fucking team, like unless they went to the NFL or transferred, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He don't have a full, like, I'm pretty sure Van Dyke wasn't his recruit if I'm not mistaken.
Nah, it seems like Van Dyke's been there for a
I'm pretty
while.
sure Van Dyke's a senior.
Junior. So yeah, he got there. He was
He
there
was a
at least.
sophomore.
Yeah. So
No, he was a freshman. Yeah, but if he came there as a freshman, that's not his dude. Um, so I don't know. Emory Williams is their backup, who's a freshman. So that's his guy, and that dude was fucking cooking when he was cooking our ass when he was playing. So I mean, I think there's some hope for Miami. I hope not. I hope they just fucking implode and disaster strikes, and they're never good again. That'd be cool with me. But yeah, that's just me personally.
yeah, I just don't see how Miami makes a jump forward. I mean, I just don't see it.
And they're gonna need somebody like a very good player to pop
Maybe,
in.
maybe that Emery guy is really, really good, and like he's just not developed yet. That could be a possibility.
They're gonna need somebody, a good QB to come in, like a very good, very good. They've had very good players on the team. It's not like they just don't have guys. Like they have solid defenses. They got pretty solid receivers. Restrepo, that motherfucker is insane. So like they got a number one dude who plays very well. Like that man would be like a number one receiver on a vast majority of teams. So like it's not like they got nobody to throw the ball to. The running back solid. So they're just kind of like all over the place. It's like they're still picking up pieces and they haven't really put the puzzle together all the way. Or there might be missing some pieces. Like the puzzle might not be complete. They bought it from fucking Goodwill and it's missing 6 pieces, and then they put it together and they're like, well, fuck, throw this shit in the trash, and then we got to rebuild again. Yeah, that's a good analogy. I'm fucking God.
Yeah,
God,
I mean,
I
I
love
don't know.
myself, Nick. God.
I don't know with Miami anymore. Like I think after next year, you got to start really having a serious conversation about the future of the
What?
program. I mean, they got so much money. Like, there's no reason Miami should be this bad for this long. And maybe it's like the whole athletic department as a whole is what's bringing them down. But
Let's
I
see what
don't
they
know.
got.
Who they got in 2024?
Lost.
That's a
Win,
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 and
win.
win. Who fucking knows what Louisville looks like? Win, lost, win, win. They have an easy ass schedule. They
So
they win.
next year might be their year where they break out a little bit. If
They
they
might win.
don't,
They might win 10 games next year.
if they win 7 games next year, then you got to really have like, okay, like you guys had an easy schedule this
I
year.
I only see them losing to us in Florida, and depending what Louisville has reloading next year. But I doubt it. I think Jake Palmer's a senior. Riley Leonard's gone, so Duke's. And if Elko leaves, their defense is not going to be the same. So Duke's gone. Um, we'll see
Yeah,
what.
I wouldn't be surprised if Cal beat them. I wouldn't be surprised if Georgia Tech beat them. Um,
I can 100% just see them dropping a random ass game to somebody. But at Cal is an interesting game. It's the other side of the fucking country, so
that's what I'm saying. I mean, Cal almost beat USC this year, and I don't know where Cal stands on the spectrum as far as like how many starters they have leaving, or if they're just like a really young team,
hey,
because
Cal
they
had
could be
Aaron
on the team on the
Rodgers,
verge of
so
being really good.
they could have the next Aaron Rodgers coming.
Well, they also had
Not
Jared
likely.
Goff. They also had
Yeah,
Jared Goff,
true.
so they're not a stranger to like NFL talent on their team.
I'm pretty sure they also had they had somebody else last year who's like a starter somewhere now that they transferred out. Who the
I'm
fuck
not
is it?
sure.
It's like who's Missouri's quarterback? I don't think it's him.
I have no idea.
I don't want to. It's probably not Jake Palmer. It's not Jackson Dart. It's not DJ. Who's Iowa's quarterback? No, probably not.
It's McNamara,
He was like Michigan. K
Sam
State's got.
Hartman. They got Will
He was there
Howard.
last year.
Uh, OSU's guy came from Tech.
Somebody on a team is from Cal. West Virginia's quarterback?
That's possible. That's a strong possibility.
Maybe not this year. Maybe it was like last year. Transfer. Somebody had a transfer from Cal. Cal's fucking just the quarterback's always transferring, to and from. So I don't know. Yeah, game of the week. Miami, get fucked. You're trash. Love to see it. Hope you never win a game again. Yeah, I'd be cool with it.
Okay,
Moving
we
on.
got best performance. I went with Arizona
At
against
Clemson.
Utah. Clemson had a good little comeback game. They're back in the top 25.
Yeah, it's not a bad North Carolina. I mean, I don't know what the fuck's going on in North Carolina this year, but
They're a
they
weird
they
team.
they forced 3 turnovers. That Clemson defense is still solid. Klubnik seems like he's kind of progressing a little bit. Fucking Will Shipley, the 40-year-old running back they have, ran for 126. God, I cannot wait for him to leave. Please, please leave. Please. I swear to God, is this man a fucking senior? Yeah. Oh, he's not. He's not. He's not even. He's a fucking junior. This dude's been there for like 10
And he's
years.
probably coming back. I mean, I haven't seen him like
God
first round
damn.
projections.
I'm convinced he's been there 10 years. I'm convinced he was there when they had goddamn Deshaun Watson. It feels like holy shit. He's so good. He's so good, but he's not like when you think of running backs in college football, you're not like Will Shipley. Like it's maybe it's because
No,
he's white. I don't know.
it was hilarious. Like one of the press conferences Dabo had this season where he was like, "This offense can't just be Shipley doing everything." I was like, you hit it right on the head. Like that is exactly the problem
But
with
he
this
does. He
offense.
does do it all. This man carries his fucking team on his back. Like 18 carries, 126 is fucking awesome. And then their backup Maffa is good. Like he might be better than Shipley. Because when he was hurt, Maffa was cooking people too. So Clemson always has good running backs. Unfortunately, it's very annoying, but I cannot stand Clemson. I wish they'd have lost, but it is what it is. Helps us out. So, beggars can't be choosers. Do I want to see them lose or do I want to see them, have a better record? Eh, I would rather than be, 0-12, but whatever. You had who? Utah
Yeah,
blowing the or Utah, Arizona.
Arizona destroying Utah 42 to.
I got that right here because Utah was my most disappointing performance of the week.
Yeah, I got Arizona
God
as my best.
damn,
I love this Arizona team.
what happened to Utah? What happened? My God.
Barnes even had
Fucking
like not that bad of a game besides the interceptions.
oh my God, dude. The starter, get your ass back in the game.
Cam Rising has announced he is coming back next year to Utah.
Fuck, Utah better be fucking sucking that man's dick every day. The fans better be lining up outside his house. That man is the savior of this team. Like, yeah, Utah has a great defense. Like, they have a great defense, but it's obviously not enough. Uh, I mean, Arizona's also, outstandingly good with Fafita. That man, Fafita might be #1 draft pick in 2 years. He's outstanding.
He's gonna be probably on the top of my Heisman list going into next year.
The man is outstanding.
Or he's gonna be really high on it at the very least.
I don't understand what happened to Utah. I don't get it.
It's crazy. I
It
think
makes
like
no
maybe
sense.
it's their running game that's and their
Yeah,
defense just hasn't been like their defense was their strong point early on in the season, and they haven't been holding up these past few weeks as well
yeah,
as they
they're
did
they're
early
relying
on.
on Barnes to throw too much. Man threw 53 passes. Like that's fucking insane.
And
53.
he's really like he's good, but he ain't that great of a passer to
No,
where
it's
he's
not.
throwing it 53 times a game.
53 is nuts. Like I guess I get it. You're down 21-0 in the first quarter, like at the end of the first quarter.
28-0 at one point.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, 28. You gotta throw it 53 times, but like fuck, dude. That's where the running game went. They was probably like, oh, run it 3 plays straight, punt, come back out, run it 2 plays, try to throw a pass, punt. Let's actually look. I'm genuinely curious. I didn't get to watch the game. Okay, first run, penalty, run, incomplete pass, punt. Oh, I know that one right on the head. God damn, I'm good. Okay, they completed a pass, got a first down, pass, incompletion, run from the quarterback, and then they punted. Run, 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 punt. Yeah, they got no fucking run game. That's exactly what happened. They got down in because they were trying to run the goddamn ball. They got down big because their defense couldn't stop shit, and then they got blown out.
So you dig yourself into a hole though. You got to mix the passing early on in the game.
And they're down 28-0, and then Bryson Barnes goes on to throw 53 times and throws two interceptions, and yeah, I don't know where you want to put the blame on that one, but the defense, the O line, like the quarterback, the coaching decisions, all the above.
It's funny how you have this as your most disappointing, and I was like, this is just the best from Arizona. Like this is just
Oh yeah, this is
great,
awesome.
great work from Arizona. Like Arizona, like this year, like they're one of my favorite teams. Like I've never given a fuck about Arizona, but I'm like this team is just unstoppable,
Yeah, I love Arizona. It's
and
awesome.
they're likable too. They just
They're under the radar. Nobody gives a shit about them, and they're just shitting on people. Like,
as soon as the season ends, I'm going to message Noah Fafita, see if he'll come on the show. Maybe not, but we'll see. Maybe he
you
will.
probably should have done it a couple weeks ago before they started cooking
Well,
crazy. Like,
I feel like once the off season comes around, people will forget about him again.
yeah,
Um,
probably.
and then that'll be the good time.
They
I'm
got
gonna let you
Arizona
hit your
State.
points.
What? Oh, yeah, they got Arizona State this week. I imagine this game's a absolute blowout, similar to this game. What's the spread looking like? 84.4% favorites. Why can I never find the spread? 10.5. Yeah, there's no fucking chance. This game is probably similar to the Utah game. It's probably like this. I would say Utah is a better offense than Arizona State. It's probably like 42-7 more than likely. Like it's not gonna be good. Not in the slightest. Most disappointing player of the week. I got all fucking DJ what's his nuts. I mean, he didn't have a terrible game. I mean, he threw for 164, but he also threw two picks. They had a chance to go down and drive down the game, and he couldn't do it. What is happening here? Give me the fucking game. No, 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 no. Yeah, recapped Arizona State, Arizona. I'm thinking it's similar to the Utah scoreline, but like 42-7. I don't see Arizona State scoring much, but and then my most disappointing player of the week was DJ. What's his nuts? Uh, exactly how
Yui
I'm not.
Gungule.
I don't care. Um, like I said, he didn't have a bad game, but he did at the same time. He threw for 154, two interceptions. He had a chance to go down and win the game. It was 22-20. He had the ball with I'm pretty sure plenty of fucking time, and they just couldn't get it done. Like there was 5:47 left. They're down by two. All you gotta do is get in field goal range, and then they couldn't do it. It was 4th and 5. They're at their own 47. So really, realistically, all they need is like 30 yards. 30 yards.
Yeah.
Can't get it. 4th and 5, incomplete pass. But I didn't really get to pop into this game until probably like right around in here. So I missed all this. Washington didn't score a fucking single point in the second half, which is bizarre to me, but it's a raining game, and the trend continues with Washington and raining games. Uh, Penix didn't look good in the second half, at all. Missed a field goal, punt, and then they got the ball back and basically just ran it, knelt it, game over. But yeah, disappointing player of the game, DJ. What's his nuts? Like Nick said, I was texting Nick during this game, and he was like, I don't think DJ's got it in him. And I was like, I don't remember what I said, but I was like, oh, I don't see why not. All they need is a fucking field goal. And how far did
No,
they have to? How far did they have to go? Like,
it
Did he even
wasn't
have?
that crazy, but I was just like, DJ just doesn't have that in him. Like he's a good quarterback, but he's not
Oh, okay,
clutch.
they was at their own 5 yard line, so they had to go basically fucking like 70 yards to get in field goal range. But they had 5 minutes, and I'm pretty sure they had a few timeouts at least. Um, yeah, he ain't got it in him. He ain't that guy. Um,
Good, but not great. That's just how I would put him. I don't see his NFL prospects being that great.
he's got
Um,
good size. His
he's got like
mechanics,
everything you need except for like when it
the
counts.
like the playmaking, I guess. Like it's I don't even really know how to explain it. He's got size, he's got the ability, he can throw the ball well, he can run. He just can't really kind of put it all together. But it's my most disappointing player of the week. DJ, what's his nuts? Who you
Mm.
got?
So this is I believe this is the second time I've done this. I have
Better be Drew Aller.
all of the Maryland running backs
Oh shit.
again.
Oh,
Their top
okay.
rusher had like 35 yards, I think.
Who did they play?
They play Michigan. Um, their running game just sucks. Maryland's running game is terrible. They did this against Penn State where they only like their top rusher had like 4 yards. This is
Oh
a
yeah, I
little
remember
like
that.
a slight
They had
improvement,
15 total yards from the.
but still for the entire team, are you kidding me?
Oh fucking. I'm just gonna call it Tua. Tua's brother.
Tolly is his name.
I'm not. I don't care. It's to his brother. He has not earned his spot as having his own name. This man might as well be the fucking most disappointing player of the week. Like my fucking god, this dude finds a way to lose them the game against Michigan and Ohio State. There was a pick six against Ohio State. There was two interceptions in this game. I think one of them was relatively late, but like the first one, I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?" Uh, it's his fault. Fuck, it's not the running backs. It's his fault. This motherfucker cannot play. He's not it. But yeah, this is bad. 11 carries, 35 yards. I mean it's also like a nod to Michigan's defense a little bit, I would say. And how many times did old boy get sacked? 4 tackles for loss, 6. Yeah, there's all your fucking rushing yards. Maryland, trash. Like, oh man, fucking Maryland pisses me off.
Nah, this running game, like I do understand, like, yeah, the sacks did contribute a lot, but I'm like,
That's fuck.
still, like the whole team only combined for 15 yards. Like, come on now. Like most teams at least have like one guy that's like pushing 100 at least, like maybe 80 to 100.
Fucking Blake Cornwell almost dropped 100 on him himself, but he had 28 carries, only got 94 yards. That's terrible.
No, that's
That's
bad.
terrible.
That's pretty inefficient. Um, I don't know. This is the second time I've done this where I can't stand Maryland. Like they have
That
the
pissed me
potential
off, bro.
to be so good, but they're just not. Um, yeah, to his brother, he I thought he was way better than he is. He just doesn't have
Oh,
that clutch gene in
see
him.
ya. Straight to the undrafted list. He'll
He
be
he'll be the Miami Dolphins
Dolphins
backup next
backup. He'll be their third
year.
string. He's not even good enough to be the backup.
It'll be
I don't,
like
I,
a Giannis, all his brothers will get a spot on the team.
I don't know who Tua's brothers or Tua not fucking Tua's brother. Tua's backup, the real Tua. I don't know who his backup is, but this motherfucker ain't gonna be his backup. This dude can be the goddamn dude on the sidelines holding the fucking. He's
Practice
got that. He's
squad.
got the headset. He's got the headset. He's got the headset on, and he's
Yeah, he's holding up the signs. He's got the clipboard.
he's that guy. He's that guy. That man's not touching the ball in practice at all. He's that guy. Fucking hell, man. He was cooking him in passing yards too, which is nuts. It makes me sick. This Maryland team makes me sick. I don't ever want to see Maryland again. Make
Yeah,
me sick.
that's who I went with my most disappointing performance by a team. And this is probably a little biased just because
It's probably
they messed my money up. James
oh yeah.
Madison. James Madison, what the hell, man? Y'all are undefeated. Y'all ain't lose a single game this whole year.
They
And
got
then
fucking game day and everything, and
yeah,
then
game days that's your shit. And then you want to. I get App State's good though.
it's on cue for App State to just come in and fuck some shit up because they always. I'm every time I see App State in a big game, if they're at game day or anything, somebody's undefeated, I'm fucking fading whoever that is. App State will ruin you. This team could be fucking winless and they will beat you. I don't know what they be drinking in the water down there, but or over there. They're not down there, fucking out east. But Jesus Christ, this team's fucking annoying. I love it though. It's cool. But yeah, sucks to be you, I guess.
Yeah, no, they messed my money up. And I mean, James Madison, they looked so good throughout the year. I thought this was for sure just
A
another
blowout
win. This was like probably the height of their like
with a
program so
P.
far. All right. I mean, you got game day chilling at James Madison. Like, I don't know if I highly doubt game day's ever been at James Madison. So you got James Madison game day. They're undefeated. They're coming off of this bowl game denial that they got from the NCAA. So you think they'd be really fired up, but then they just come out and they just played down to Appalachian State, and Appalachian State, credit to them, they come through in overtime and they win the game. But I just don't understand how, if you're James Madison, you're going to allow that to happen. You're undefeated. I mean, you got to think this team should have been fired up. Like, hey, we're really fired up. We got denied a bowl game, so now we want to come through and prove why we deserve it. I mean, let's say they win this game, you got more of an argument to bring to the NCAA. But no, they just fumbled the bag. Appalachian State's one of these teams. They're really clutch. They know close games. Doesn't matter who's on the team, like Jaden was just saying. Doesn't matter where they stand. Appalachian State's a team that's ready for a challenge. They're ready for a battle. Um, and James Madison just could not come through with the win. I didn't like a lot of the play calling offensively. I saw down the stretch. It was just a really disappointing performance for James Madison. Um, like I was just saying, like this is probably like the height of their program. They got game day there. They're undefeated. They're like James Madison has never been on top of the world like this, and then they just can't get it done against Appalachian State.
What the fuck happened here? I have one play. I was like, can't feel it. Did they run the fucking kickoff all the way back almost?
No, it was overtime. So
Oh wait, yeah, you're right. I'm retarded.
but that was just that was the play. That's really weird because I feel like they had another play, but I guess maybe
Don't
it's
they
just one
start at the
play.
25?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think they had another play unless there was a penalty or something. Because I watched the
That's
game
four
and
plays.
yeah, I'm about to say
I was like, wait, that makes no fucking sense.
they definitely had more
I think they
plays
called a
than
timeout at the fucking beginning of their fucking drive. Like that's how you know you're in trouble.
it was kind of, and then the touchdown was kind of like reviewable, but it was like pretty obvious Appalachian State got the touchdown. So I mean, one thing I could say, I guess, is like, hey, James Madison, I guess
I didn't
you
once.
you you deserved, I guess, your bowl bin or whatever from this year. Um, I mean, not really. You guys should be in a bowl game, but y'all didn't help the case by losing the week after that happened.
Nope. Sure fucking didn't. You'd love to see it. Not really, but it's what it is. Um, I really don't want to go through the entire top 25. That's a lot of fucking teams that I don't really give a shit about right now. We can touch on some big ones.
Let's talk about
Liberty,
Liberty. Liberty's a
11
good
and
one to
0.
talk about. 11-0. They've been dominating their past 3 games.
Yeah, blew out Mass. Old Dominion blowout. I mean, they're basically fucking blowing out everybody other than Sam Houston and
Middle Tennessee, it looks
Bowling
like.
Green.
Yeah,
So
Bowling
yeah,
Green as well.
I mean, the year that they had Malik Willis, they were also, I think, undefeated. I'm not wrong, and they were ranked quite a bit higher, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know what the fuck's going on this year with the committee and Liberty, but maybe that year Liberty played some better schools. They had I think they had a big win that year. They beat somebody. That could be it. Maybe Liberty's schedule is playing into it. What do you think?
I mean, I think they're probably just going to strength the schedule, but I also just think like the committee is just so biased towards like the Power Five or soon to be Power Four conferences that they're just writing Liberty off. I understand Liberty shouldn't be in the playoff conversation or anything like that.
Yeah,
But I mean, to have this team at 25 when you got like a four-loss Tennessee,
four
four-loss
loss Clemson,
Clemson, like it's
Tulane, ten
ridiculous.
and one over them.
Yeah, I mean they should be ahead of. I would say you could put them at maybe even 20.
Yeah,
That'd
that's
be that'd
fair.
be fair.
That's fair. Maybe 21. Put them behind Oklahoma State.
I mean, like I could almost make the argument they're a better team than Iowa. They put up a lot more points.
That's a tough defense though, man. I
That
don't
is a
know.
that is a tough defense,
That's
but
like a
like,
that's like a top five defense in college football. It's can they even score on that defense? Is like that thing. Like
but I mean their quarterback's great, Salter. I mean I think he's pushing 40 touchdowns himself on the season.
yeah, I mean they probably scored at least a little bit, but it might be one of those 9-3 type of games like Iowa has like almost every week.
Yeah.
Man, I was a goddamn quarterback and a decent offensive coordinator away from going undefeated. Jesus Christ, Iowa, but they fucking Iowa just
No, we
throw,
could jump into Iowa a little bit
throw
because if they get the
fucking
right offensive
everything
coordinator,
you have at the best quarterback in the fucking transfer portal and the best free agent fucking offensive coordinator you can get. Head coach doesn't matter. Anybody that has some sort of decent track record at fucking winning, like yeah, it's like they're allergic to it. Like yeah, now they got 9 wins, but fuck, man, you didn't score a point against Penn State. You scored 10. You lost by 10 or 2 to Minnesota. Like, but look at the rest of these games: 15-13, 10-7. You lost. You won by fucking 6. 10 blow out Western Michigan. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, I like Iowa, but fuck, this team pisses me off too. The Big Ten, fuck the Big Ten, fuck everybody in the Big Ten. Jesus Christ, nobody in this fucking conference can play offense.
no, this conference, the Big Ten's overrated, honestly.
Jesus, I just want to fucking kick a fat kid at Kmart, as the great Theo Fawn once said.
Yeah, I mean, this is
They beat Nebraska easy. They beat Nebraska easy, and then they get blown out by fucking Michigan and Ohio State. I hope this defense is like them dudes, and then they come in and just blanket
pick
just
six. Yeah,
pick six, like pick six, fumble, fucking blindside the quarterback, broken spine. He's out for fucking eternity. Dude's in fucking ICU or some shit. No, that's a little far, but you get what I mean, right? Like, come on, do something. This defense has to do something. That's all they got. They don't have a fucking soul on this offense that can compete against Michigan and Ohio State. Not a soul. You could put Marvin Harrison on this offense, and they still ain't gonna win. It's a goddamn catastrophe. What are you doing? What are you looking at?
I'm looking at my list of things to talk about.
You're driving me nuts. I'm like looking at you while I'm talking to you. Like,
I'm like looking at my notes. Like, what else do I
do you
have
do
on
that?
here?
Do you look at the?
I'm
Do
looking
you,
at my note. Cool, because like I
no,
don't want my.
like when you talk, like what do you look at? Like I look at like you in the picture, like I'm
I
talking to you.
glance at my notes, then I look back at you. But like
I don't know why. It's like,
the
what are
main
you
reason
looking
I'm
at?
touching my screen is like so it doesn't like die on me, and then I have to put in my
Yeah, no,
passcode again. So
I
I'm
get
like
you.
I'm
I was just like,
constantly like.
what are you looking at? Sorry, that came off a little aggressive. My bad. I'm fired up. I'm fired up.
No, I got my notes of all
The
my,
shitty
my
ass teams,
stuff.
shitty ass teams got me fired up. God damn, fucking Iowa, man, do something, please.
No, I was.
Um,
Who else do we have up here that's worth talking about?
I
Who
we
have
could go
notes
straight to
on?
OU. Fuck it.
Yeah, let's go know you. So we that was a rough game against BYU, but
Fuck yeah, it
did you
was.
did you catch any of that game? Like the field conditions were
Yeah, I
terrible.
watched it. It was one of the worst fields I've ever seen.
Yeah, apparently BYU's getting a new field next year. I'm like, I don't know why you guys just didn't do it like
That's
this
it right
year.
there. That's that W right there.
Yeah, I mean, we had that pick six, like the 100
Oh man,
100 yard.
that saved the game. If that didn't happen, I don't know if y'all win this game really. Like I hate to say it, but like because you guys are tied, they was at least gonna get a field goal. And at that point, it's 20-17. Yeah, because you guys were at 17, that'd have been 20. Right, yeah, quick math. Um, that's a pretty low scoring game in the third quarter for you guys' offense. From what and then Dylan Gabriel's out at that point. Jackson Arnold wasn't looking fantastic. He didn't look terrible, but I mean, I not to say that you guys couldn't come down from three because three is not like an insurmountable lead or
Yeah.
anything, but the third quarter is fading at that point, being down by three. It's looking a little rough with the way the game was kind of trending and how everything was shaking out. They had a lot of momentum. The crowd seemed pretty legit, even though it wasn't
Uh,
sold out. They would seem pretty loud. I was pleasantly surprised.
I think the smaller it feels, the just more
Yeah.
noise comes out of them because it's more condensed.
Um,
Um,
I'll just say I think Billy Bowman saved this game for y'all. I 100%. I wholeheartedly believe if that because that completely deflated them completely. They did come back and score a
they
touchdown right
scored again,
afterwards,
but
but
yeah, but
they was cooking before that. They was back and forth game.
well, and they were on the goal line, and he picks it up and takes it back 100 yards. Yeah, I mean, I think Dylan Gabriel getting hurt really, really hurt us because I mean he had already thrown for almost 200 yards and two TDs in the first half. And then you throw Jackson Arnold in. I know the fans like, oh, we want Jackson Arnold.
This should be the answer for them after this game. Like,
He was no. They're what's crazy
no, they're
is
still
that
not doing it, are they?
no, they're still they
Oh,
started off making excuses like he didn't practice with the first team, and I'm like, okay. And then
oh yeah, maybe.
when they found out that Dylan's probably playing this week, they're like, no, we should run with Jackson Arnold. We already wasted his red shirt. We need to put Jackson Arnold in. I'm like, bro,
Who gives a shit about his red shirt? It'd be 2 years before he gets to play if Gabriel comes back.
we can still redshirt him next year. Like it's fine.
Yeah,
Like who cares? I'm so sick of hearing. Like I
he's
like
probably
Jackson
gonna
Arnold.
transfer anyways if Gabriel comes back. I could very well see it. And
I prefer have Gabriel next year than Jackson Arnold. Like
I would too,
unless
especially in the SEC.
if Gabriel doesn't play tomorrow for any reason and he's just like still hurt or whatever, and Jackson Arnold comes out and plays lights out, that'll change my mind. But until I see that from Jackson Arnold, he didn't look good. He did have a clutch pass slant to Farouk to kind of seal the game, but he also had a wide open Nick Anderson that he overshot, which that's the thing OU fans love to complain about Dylan Gabriel, like, oh, he overthrows. Well, so does Jackson Arnold.
Everybody
So
overthrows.
so it really doesn't matter.
You get out there and fucking throw a ball 60 yards to a moving target and see if you can fucking throw it on target. Like that shit's hard. Like just throwing, 40 yards plus is very hard. Like the
No,
average person doesn't just go out there and throw 40 yards on target, a stationary target, let alone someone running, in some particular part of the field with somebody on their fucking back. And you can't underthrow that ball or that shit's gone. Uh it's
no,
it's not
it's
easy.
ridiculous. And then their other argument is Jackson Arnold. He could run. He's mobile. I'm like Dylan Gabriel has like
Motherfucker runs all the time.
he has like 11 rushing touchdowns. Like I'm done with the Jackson Arnold hype. Like I hope he's great. I hope he's the best quarterback OU's
It's
ever
too
had.
early. You gotta let him cook a little bit in the oven a
But
little longer.
let's let Dylan Gabriel finish his career out. He's done a really good job. I'm pretty sure by the end of all when this is all said and done, Dylan Gabriel goes down as the most underappreciated quarterback OU has ever had. He's like okay, let's if we beat Kansas or Oklahoma State, he's still in the Heisman conversation easily. He's got what pushing 40 touchdowns on the season. No, give me a break. There's just OU fans are delusional,
Yeah, they
and then
sleep.
there's still like the problem with this game was the defense. Our defense sucked this whole game.
Yeah, they did. They did. They
We're
couldn't stop
giving up
shit. Not
the
shit.
run. We couldn't tackle anybody. You could blame the field, that's fine, but BYU was playing on the same field. Granted, they're
They
probably used to it,
they
but
gave up 182 to the
it's
running back.
it's ridiculous. And then what's crazy about the OU fans is after the game they want to be like, we need to fire Levy, which might, you got a
Yeah, but
case there,
okay, yeah.
but that's not why this game was
It
close.
was the defense.
Because Levy actually he called a good game. Like he got in that same spot where he messed up against Oklahoma State and Kansas, where we just needed a first down, and he learned from his mistake and he just threw the ball.
There you go.
So
That's what you want to see. Like that's what you want to see. You want to see some sort of like upward improvement from your coordinator who may or may not be on the hot seat and 2 games making bad decisions. Okay, cost a loss. Third tight game, an improvement, makes better decisions. That's what you like to see. I mean, shit, this game could have saved his job. You never know.
I think he's done great. I mean,
I don't think he gets fired on unless there's some sort of massive outcry from all the OU fans, and maybe they can get in Venable's ear, or
I think
maybe
Venables' best shot is just ignoring these fans because they're so delusional
or
and so
maybe Dylan
stupid.
Gabriel's like, hey, he's not it. Like that, I feel like that's what it would take. It maybe be some like lack of confidence by the offense, but if like the offense is cool with it, I don't see why you would move on from him to an unknown OC from fucking somewhere. I don't know who they would get.
It's
Like
probably the guy that's on staff. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's from North Carolina, basically. Um,
that's an unknown going into SEC play next year, where
we
you're.
have the fourth best offense in the country.
It
Like
makes no sense.
I
Makes no
do
sense.
get like
Granted,
Levy.
I have called for his job. I think at least twice this year. Probably
Well,
the 2
he's
losses.
his situational play calling has been atrocious this
Yeah,
year,
but if he can,
but he's learning. He seems like he's learning from it. So if he could just
he's only been there
keep
what?
up with
How
it,
long has he been there?
this is his second year, and this is only like this is really like his first big time OC job because he was OC at Ole Miss, but really Lane Kiffin's calling the plays there.
Yeah,
And then he was at UCF, I think when Heupel was there, and it's like really Heupel was calling the plays there. So
but you
this is
gotta
his first chance, like really like being the play caller.
you gotta cut him a little slack. He's improving. You can kind of see the improvement, I guess. I can't say you as in me and you. I don't watch. I think I was watching fucking. I don't know what other game was on at this time.
There's another big
I
game I
think I was
think going
watching
on
the
at
I
the
was watching the
moment.
Miami Louisville game.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then like at commercial, I'd flip over, and if this one was on commercial, I was flipping back. But if it was fucking conveniently every goddamn college football game on at the same time
Is
is always
always
on
on
commercial
commercial
at
at
the
the same
same
time.
fucking time. It's I don't know how that works, but it's fucking goddamn annoying. But yeah, I seen a little bit of it. Yeah, the defense was fucking atrocious. Giving up
Yeah.
390 to beat you got outgained by BYU as a 5-5 team coming in this game. They outpossessed. Barely you got more first downs. You got 3 turnovers, but I think that's what won you the game there. Because one of those turnovers turned into a touchdown for you guys, but like did those other 2 turnovers turn into points, or did you guys end up punting?
Um, I honestly I can't remember if those turnovers turned into points or not. Let's see, punt,
Okay,
fumble, yeah, that
touchdown.
turned into a touchdown. Interception, touchdown, obviously.
Okay, so they all 3 turned into touchdowns. So that's
Yeah,
21
it
points right
made the
there.
difference. Yeah, because Danny Sussman had that strip sack that
So like,
was really big.
yeah, it was on the defense as well, but the defense also kind of won them the game as well at the same time. It was like it's a
Well, that's
fucking
that's the thing with this defense is
it's
it's
fucking infuriating.
a great turnover like causing defense, but they also gave up a lot of yards
I
at the
think you guys
same
might
time.
be like the number 1 turnover defense in the country
We
now
are.
at this point.
Yeah. And I mean we
Um,
got TCU next week. We need either an Oklahoma State loss gets us in the Big 12 championship, or we need Texas and K State to both lose, and that'll get us in the Big 12 championship. So Oklahoma State, I believe, has
Oh, they play
BYU.
BYU, but they're at home, so I
They're at
don't
home and on a good field,
I don't
so
see it.
they probably win.
And then Texas got
Texas Tech, which I could see.
that could be interesting. And then you said Kansas or K
Yeah,
State?
K State, which I don't know who K State has. I believe it's Iowa State, maybe. Yeah, Iowa
Okay, I mean
State
that
could lose. Yeah.
I think those two teams losing is way more realistic than OSU. Unless OSU and Bowman, they're fucking letting Bowman throw the goddamn ball and he throws 3 interceptions again, which is very possible. But if they all they need to do is give Ollie Gordon the ball, but if they can shut Ollie Gordon down, then OSU's done.
Well, because I mean, Oklahoma State struggled a lot against Houston. Like Houston
But
was whooping their ass,
Houston,
and then Houston just like there was this play. It was early, I believe, in the second half where like Houston stopped Oklahoma State on fourth down, and then one of their linebackers. And this stuff always pisses me off. One of their linebackers just like stood over Ollie Gordon, and then they threw a flag, and it was on fourth down. I was like, bro, you gotta be kidding me. And then from there on, it was just all Oklahoma State.
yup.
Just unsportsmanlike plays, just they piss me off so much, especially when it's like clearly the player's fault. I mean, there's times where the referee is just being a bitch and they just throw it for no reason.
Yeah.
But there's also times where the player is just being a dumbass, that was one of those times. And
Like,
cost
what are you
Houston
doing,
again.
bro?
Like
I
you
mean,
don't get anything out of that.
to be fair, Houston did almost beat Texas, so they're not a bad team.
No, they're pretty solid. I mean, their record is pretty terrible, but I mean, overall, they're a pretty solid team.
All right. Touched on
Looking,
OU, almost playing right now, up by 10.
yeah, and looked at the score. So they're
Eh,
up by 10 now. Okay.
17-7 with
17-7.
six
Okay.
about 6.5 left. They're in the red zone almost. They should have this in the bag. Thankfully, they didn't cost me any fucking money this week. We touched on fucking Missouri and Florida. Jesus Christ. I was texting you about this game. This game was crazy.
Yeah, no, that kicker is
Holy
that dude is
shit.
crazy. That dude's nuts.
Holy, it was a 30-yarder, but like
No,
they
he's
basically
clutch though.
he is clutch. Basically, we'll go to the play-by-play, see if I can my drunk ass can remember how this shook out. So Florida kicks the field goal, they're up by one, 3 minutes left. Missouri's got to drive to kick a field goal. Start at their own 25. They get down to this is where I think I texted you. So it's 4th and 17. All you got to do is get a stop. The game's over. There's
Yeah.
38 seconds left. 27-yard pass. First down. Okay, cool. They're at the 40. Got to rely on hopefully get some stops. You got to make the kicker kick at that point it would be a 50 if they didn't get any more yards, but incomplete pass, another 11 yards. Incomplete pass, 16 yards. 7 seconds left, 30-yard field goal. Like they like, what are y'all doing, bro?
And then he hit the gator chomp at the end.
I love it. I love it. Eat shit, Florida. You fucking thought. Oh, it touched me in the heart. Touched me in the heart.
No,
God,
the gator chomp might be one of the best like things because like when they're winning, it's like a thing they could do.
yeah,
But
it's
when they're
cool.
losing, you could throw it right back in their face.
Yeah, it's cool, I guess.
It's kind of like the horns.
It's one
Yeah.
of those. Yeah, those are like some of the only like teams that have like almost an inverted like.
You could just throw it back in their
Yeah,
face.
yeah. I don't know who else does any team other have something like that you could really turn back on them.
I mean, you had Sam Hartman doing the fight on thing upside down for USC.
What, they do a fucking peace sign?
Yeah, it's fight on. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't
that's stupid.
I don't
I've never seen
understand
it.
it. No,
I've never
you
seen it.
never seen it. No,
I've
it's
never seen it.
USC's thing.
Nope, never
Yeah,
seen it. It's
it's
probably
a Lincoln Riley in his profile picture. Just
You're fucking. I hate Lincoln Riley. Yeah, this game this is actually a very good game. I was maybe thinking about going this way for my game of the week, and maybe could have. That was a crazy drive. That Missouri's QB. That kid's good. He's very good. Is it Braden Cook or Brandon Cook? It's probably neither. It's probably Braxton or some stupid shit. But 331, only missing 14 passes and a tutty. Solid. Graham Mertz got hurt. He's out. We'll have to see it. Because I fucking know. I'll transition straight into Florida State because we play Florida next week, so it works well. I fucking know Florida fans. As soon as Travis got hurt, they was like, "Let's go!" They was probably fucking hyped. And you know
Oh
how
yeah,
the
for
fucking
sure.
turntables eat shit. Your fucking quarterback goes down the same day. Suck my ass. Suck my ass. I know our backup's better than yours. I fucking know it. God, I can't wait.
No, I doubt they even have a capable backup because like Mertz wasn't even their guy going into the season. They just had a you know
Who is their back? I don't even know who their backup is. What's because the roster's not gonna show it. I gotta look at the fucking play by play. Who's throwing passes in this fucking game? I don't know what point he went out.
they ran it every time on this drive. It looks
Is it
like
Max Brown? Is that?
yeah, I guess
Yeah, Max Brown.
Max
Okay.
Brown. Yeah, Max Brown. Oh, yeah, I've never heard of the
Uh,
guy.
bro, what? How does fucking Ole Miss not
He's
score?
a freshman from Tulsa. Oh my god.
I already don't like him. I don't like him. This man got 106 yards. This dude's coming in to play us as a freshman. God damn, we're
Nah,
gonna eat.
nah.
We're
They,
gonna
they
eat.
have they have no shot. They have no shot.
All I gotta
Looking at
say
this.
is fucking God help that man and God help the Florida O line because it's gonna be a fucking field day for us.
Oh,
Um,
oh my god, a freshman
it's
from
it's
from
gonna it's
Tulsa.
gonna be a bloodbath. I hate the way Billy Napier even looks. I hate this color too. Their logo is trash. I hate everything. Even without our starting quarterback, we're heavily favorites. Um, God damn, I hate Florida. I love this rivalry though. It's a very, very big game for us. Might as well do it sideways. As a that's how it should be. Um, even without Jordan Travis, we're still favored by almost 7. I don't think it's that close, especially with a freshman quarterback. Like I said, God help that man, because Jared versus our defense. I think they're fucking pissed. They're very upset. So I guess so. Jared Verse and Jordan Travis do this like practice like wrestling thing, and fucking Verse was out there doing it by himself, like without Jordan Travis, like mimicking like that he was there. It was actually really sad. But I'm pretty sure Jared Verse can have a big game. Our defense gonna eat. They're gonna eat. There's no reason why we shouldn't just stack the box and let them hand the ball off to ETN because that's ETN's he's a very very good running back. So like if our running defense does not show up like they never do, so like they're gonna get some big run plays on us because fucking everybody does. Um, it might be a little closer, but we should make this freshman. I think he's a mobile quarterback too, so that fucking doesn't help us either. But we have to make this man beat us with his arm, load the box, put everybody 1-on-1 except for Finchall Cypress. The man needs help. Put a safety over there.
Yeah,
He cannot be 1-on-1. That is a liability. Uh, I can't stand that kid. I don't know why. He did get that big play like 2 weeks ago, but fuck,
that was a badass strip
it was a
sack.
badass play. It was maybe one of the best defensive plays I've ever seen. But god damn, he's trash. So I'm actually very excited for this game. It's unfortunately it's on the road. We are playing in the swamp. It is a night game. It's gonna be probably sold out. Florida do be preying on our downfall. We are undefeated. Everybody's been playing us like it's a fucking Super Bowl all year. Um, yeah,
I think
I
had Mertz not got hurt, I would probably lean Florida in this game. But without Mertz, I'm definitely leaning Florida State at
I
this
just
point.
I just don't see it. Like Rodemaker's, he's good. He was a very highly rated recruit coming out of high school. Like he could have went anywhere. Like not maybe not anywhere, but he could be a starter on a lot of teams. He could be playing somewhere else. Um, he's just been chilling, waiting for Travis to leave, and he was more than likely going to be our starter next year anyway. So now we're kind of gonna get to see what we got. Maybe we need to hit the transfer portal and go after somebody if he's not the dude. But from what I've seen, everybody, Florida State fans as a collective, we all seem like we're kind of on board with him. Nobody's really kind of like, we're fucked. Granted, Louisville might be a different story. I mean, we're getting there regardless. So we win or lose this game, we'll still play Louisville.
Yeah.
Um, Regardless if we lose the next two games, it's an improvement on last year. One more win, 11-0. So I wouldn't say I'd be happy with that, but I don't know. No, I wouldn't be happy with that. Fuck that. Fuck that. We're shitting on Florida. This game should not be close. It shouldn't be close at all. The spread's terrible. Florida's O line's not any good. They ain't got no quarterback now. They only got a running back. Their defense is probably okay, but if we get the running game going, it shouldn't be a problem. But I will say, fucking this last game, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I
How the
mean,
fuck we go down 13-0 in the first quarter is beyond me. And I blame Jordan Travis's injury on the defense because if we're not down 13-0, he don't need to make that run. He he probably that play call probably doesn't happen. He probably doesn't need to make that run. So I blame his injury wholeheartedly on the defense. Um, they came in, they caught us lacking, and we paid for it, unfortunately. But we did score 58 unanswered points, which is pretty impressive. We blocked a fucking field goal at the end of the game and ran it in for a touchdown, so that was cool. Eat shit. That's what you all get. Who the fuck tries to kick a field goal at the end of the game like that? Like, you fucking assholes. You just hurt our fucking Heisman, probable quarterback, and then you try to kick a field goal? Like, fuck you.
so
Fuck
we're
you.
trying to get our style point. I mean, like, here's the
You're
thing with this
getting
game.
blown out. Like, suck my ass.
This game would look a lot better. Like if this score was the exact same,
But
but
Travis ain't get hurt.
y'all weren't down 13-0. Like this just accumulated throughout the game. The
Yeah.
13 points, it wouldn't look that bad. But the
But
fact that it started out 13-0 is what makes it look not
I,
great.
I will say, like, hardly anybody scores on us in the second half. Like, hardly anybody. So we are a second half team, and we always have been. Like, always going back to when Bobby Bowden was the coach. We are a second half team. So, like, if we can make it in a halftime, like, say we make it in the playoffs, and we can make it to halftime, not getting blown out. I don't see why we can't, compete. Um, I don't know if we win any of those games, but just making it at this point without Jordan Travis would be a win for us. The ACC at this point is really kind of my ceiling. That's kind of what I want. I don't see why we can't, blow fucking Florida out of the water this weekend and beat Louisville at a neutral site. I don't see why we can't. I really don't. And then Rodemaker came in. He threw for 217, 2 touchdowns. He only missed 10 passes, so
He
he,
looked
he had a
bad.
good game. Granted, it is fucking Northern Alabama and whatever, but I kind of wish he had a little more time with the first team. So, like, he had the remainder of that game until he came out. He's gonna have all this week practicing with the first team. We can beat Florida, get out of that. Another week, another game under his belt, another week of first team practice. I don't know the span of the end of the season until conference championships. I think it's like a week or two, maybe two. I feel like it's 2 weeks.
What are you talking about between like the end of
The
the
end of the
season?
season and the conference championship. Is it
No,
just a
no, no.
week?
It's literally the very next week. Like it's like
Is it a week?
yeah, next week is the conference championships. Yeah, next week. So that there's no
Yeah, not
like
this weekend.
there's no gap. It's just like next weekend is the
Okay, so he's gonna
championship.
have two full weeks and two full game or a game and a half, I guess, with the first
Yeah.
team. So is that enough time? I don't know. We'll see. I'm really hoping he's just that dude, and he comes out and just fucking cooks. He's got the potential. He's very good. Um, he's not Jordan Travis, obviously, but like he's athletic. He can make plays with his feet. He can keep plays alive. He's not a pure pocket passer by any means. So if somebody wants to just load the box and blitz, he can get out of there and maybe run for some yards, extend plays and make passes. So
Yeah, I
I,
mean,
I'm
I
I'm
did
I'm optimistic.
do you see where Jordan Travis gave him like his NIL money
I did
basically?
see that.
Like
Like
that's really cool.
Jordan Travis is fucking one of the better human beings in football I've ever seen. Uh, if someone isn't drafting him just based on his like mentality and his heart and the way he just conducts himself, like somebody's missing out. Like, yeah, he broke his leg, but like, you can come back from that. It's a leg. It's not an ACL. It's not a throwing arm. You know what I mean? Yeah, it sucks. He's definitely not going in the first round now. But I
Yeah,
don't
it
see
hurts his draft stock by quite a bit. Yeah.
I don't see him falling out of the fourth though.
No, I mean
Somebody
he probably still gets
if
drafted.
I'm a team, I'm taking him in the third, like the third, because he's very good. He's very good in the right team. Granted, you put him like the Giants, like obviously he's not gonna be good because we fucking suck. But you put him behind like who's a team with like a decent setup, but like they just have bad quarterback.
I mean at this very moment, like I don't know. There's not a
The
whole lot
Jets,
of them,
but
but they still got Rodgers
yeah, but
potentially
how long has
coming
he got
back.
left? I would draft JT, let him sit behind Rodgers and Wilson, and like Wilson's obviously not it.
Oh no, yeah, he's
Let it like
terrible.
however long Rodgers has got, a year, maybe two, let him sit there. That's almost a complete team already. Just boom, slot him in, money, something like that.
I think maybe Kenny Pickett's not the guy in Pittsburgh.
No, Kenny Pickett's
Uh,
trash, but I would hate like for them to draft him. I don't even know if he'd be fully healthy by the start of next year. Probably. I don't think a broken legs as long as like an ACL.
no, I think like a broken leg, you're kind of just like I think it's like what, like 6 to 8 weeks or something
But
like
like a
that.
broken collarbone, 7 weeks roughly. That's how long I was out when I broke my collarbone from like
But
soccer season.
I
He
think just like when your leg heals up
he,
from a
he
broken
might
leg, it's a lot better than like a ACL.
yeah he might be ready for the draft. Maybe it really depends. So he might miss the draft or not the draft, the combine. Sorry,
The combine. Yeah, I mean I
combine's in what,
yeah,
February?
he's probably not making the combine.
Yeah, no problem.
But I
Unless
mean,
he
like, also the combine doesn't really matter. I mean, you already got all the filming you need on the
yeah,
guys.
exactly. So I don't know. I'm optimistic. Fucking fuck Florida. I hope it's a blowout. I hope we just. I hope the defense comes in just mad, just absolutely nasty, just shits on them. That's exactly what I'm expecting. So, anything other than that, I'll be a little disappointed. If we lose, uh, I won't be back ever. I'm done. I'm just kidding. You'll never see me again. Uh,
I was like, well,
nah,
this Northern Alabama game at first, I was like, oh shit.
nah, they definitely just caught us slacking. Like I said, I think they hit us with like a trick play and a fake punt and some shit. So like it happens. It happens. Like, but we scored 58 unanswered, like with backups. I think we're okay. At least this game. Louisville, different
Yeah.
story.
No, I think yeah, like I said, had Mertz not got hurt, I'd probably be leaning more towards Florida. But with him out, yeah, I don't I think Rodemaker's just way more prepared. He's had a lot more opportunity to jump in a few games at least this
Yeah,
year.
he let us back against Louisville last year. We was down. He came in. We won. I'm pretty sure he played the full Syracuse game, won that game. So like
Yeah.
he's not new to the system. He's had time. He know he can make every play. He knows he can run the full playbook. It's not like we're gonna have to dilute the playbook by a
Yeah.
significant margin or anything like that. So I think we'll be fine. Getting the playoffs and playing any of those teams is different. Um, that's a tall task, but anything can happen.
It just
One
depends on how he looks these next 2 weeks. Like
yeah,
if he if he just looks like, you guys haven't lost a step since you
I'll
lost
be
Jordan
okay.
Travis, then
Cool.
yeah, you guys have a very good shot.
He's that dude. But if he comes in and struggles, yeah, we're fucked. We're fucked. Yeah, it'll be a guaranteed win against whoever plays us. Probably Georgia. Oh, that'd be unfortunate, but I might not even watch that game realistically. If we struggle these next 2 weeks, barely win, and we get in, I say that, but I'll watch it anyway.
You're
But
fucking watching it.
I'm
No, no,
watching. I'm watching
yeah,
it, but I'll probably
everybody's
watch.
watching it.
I'll probably watch the entire thing. Just I'm a fucking
Watch
glut.
us, watch us get our ass whooped.
I'll see us on fucking Pornhub the next day.
Young
11, 11,
Florida.
yeah, young Florida dudes get blown out, get their shit pushed in by Georgia and I don't know, something, you know what I mean? Something like that. God,
By
that'd be,
young bulls.
oh shit. Okay. I think we've touched
Um,
on pretty much
I feel like
everything.
we're going into like next week's games, or I guess basically
Hey,
like tomorrow is like when it starts. Really, really
hey,
tonight.
Ole Miss closed out 17-7. That's
That
actually
was
very.
way closer than I thought it was going to be.
No, I'm glad I didn't bet the spread on that. They motherfuckers trying to cost me money, I
So
swear.
next year, tomorrow we have a pretty good slate of
That's a
games.
big matchup or big slate. Holy shit. Oregon State's tomorrow. That's a prime time game.
I got Oregon
Um
State.
I hope so, man. But it is in Autzen or
Yeah.
autism or however the fuck you want to pronounce their stadium.
Uh,
Uh OU at home against TCU should be a blowout, but every time I bet the spread on OU, they fucking let me down and then they don't cover. Um
for me, it just depends. Is it Dylan Gabriel? Is it Jackson Arnold? If it's Dylan Gabriel, I think it's a decisive win. If it's Jackson Arnold, I have no idea. We could lose, maybe
yeah.
even that. Uh,
Miami Boston College could be interesting.
yeah.
Missouri Arkansas realistically could be kind of interesting because Arkansas did give Alabama a big scare. So KJ Jefferson's not he's
He's a
pretty
pretty
good.
good quarterback.
Texas Tech Texas hopefully get an upset there. That'd be fucking fantastic. It's prime time game. It's on ABC, so anything can happen. And then the granddaddy of the weekend, Michigan, Ohio
Yep.
State at 11.
I
I
got
really
Ohio
wish that was
State.
an evening game, but
Why do they always play that game at 11 in the morning?
every year they play that shit that early. I don't understand.
Let's see.
A&M LSU could be fun, but I don't see.
I think LSU probably wins by a lot.
I hope they win by 40.
Um,
Duke Pittsburgh could be fun.
wouldn't be
Two
surprised if
small teams.
Pitt came out with that one. It's like the last game of the season. Like neither
Yeah.
team really has a lot to play for.
No, 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 no.
Let's see.
Colorado, Utah could be fun. I don't think I think Shador's like sick or some shit. There's something wrong with him. He might not even play.
If he's playing, I would not be surprised if Colorado won that game.
They
But they
need.
they they played terrible against Washington State though, so I really
Are
don't
they?
know.
They're not bowl eligible even if they win this game, right? They needed to
No,
win.
they're not going to get
Yeah, they're
a bowl
done.
game this
I
year.
if I'm Dion, I'm not letting him play. There's no reason because that Utah defense is pretty nasty, and he's just gonna get sacked 6 to 8 times. That does make sense. We got the Iron Bowl at 2:30. It's no chance for Auburn's. They lost the new.
I will never count Auburn out.
These motherfuckers lost to New Mexico State last week. That should have been our most disappointing performance of the week. I
That is
completely
true. That I
forgot.
forgot. I forgot about that one. Yeah, that was
As
pretty
soon as I
sad.
see them, I was like, "Oh yeah, Auburn's absolute utter dog shit." But it is the Iron Bowl. Anything can happen, but no chance. Dun, dun, dun. Watch fucking App State lose this weekend. James Madison, Coastal Carolina. Coastal Carolina have been pretty hot as of last couple of years.
They're pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see.
Washington State is an in-state rivalry, but no chance.
I mean, Washington State's in the same boat as Oregon State. They're the
Is
two
it
teams that didn't get invited.
is it raining? Question mark. Let me look up the weather forecast for what are they up by Seattle?
Yeah, I
Is
think
that where
so.
Washington's playing?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Nope, clear skies, high of 48.
Yeah,
Projection.
probably Washington's
Blowout.
coming out with that.
Blowout. Florida State. Blowout. Eat shit, Florida. Notre Dame, Stanford. Blowout. Georgia Tech. Hopefully, what we talked about earlier comes to fruition. Doubt. Clemson, South Carolina. Big rivalry. I'm actually probably might watch that game. I'll probably watch these two flipping back and forth because I mean I love to see Clemson lose, but them winning helps us a little bit. So
I feel like Georgia Tech's gonna be exactly what we're talking about. Like Georgia Tech's gonna score right away, and then I could actually even see Georgia Tech going
go
up
up
by
like
like
10.
10, and then just Georgia wins like 55-10 or something at the end of the
Yeah, I
game.
can see that 100%. Iowa State, K State. Looking at that potentially, OU
I
needs
think
that as an upset.
Iowa State gave Texas fits, and I will say this about
Completely
Texas.
skipped over Texas, right?
No, we
Yeah, they
talked
play
about
they
it.
play tomorrow. Yeah, but on the schedule.
So the
So
Texas Iowa State game,
holy
bro,
shit.
those Big 12 refs were really like trying to screw over Texas. I ain't even gonna lie, and I hate
Dude,
Texas.
I think they're doing that to OU and Texas just because they're both leaving the conference. Like both y'all been getting fucking hosed by the refs. Other than that Houston game, Texas got
They got a little favoritism in that
they
one.
got Houston got fucking absolutely shit on. That was absolutely
But
ridiculous.
overall, Texas has been getting screwed. We've been getting screwed. I know because they want like an Oklahoma State, like K State. That'd be their ideal like Big 12
Nah,
championship.
a Bedlam Big 12 to end the Big 12 would be fucking. But yeah, it shouldn't be a problem for y'all. I don't know unless OSU plays like they did that last time, it'd be a little tough. It would. I think it
Not
would
at a
be.
neutral site. Not
I
at a
think it would be
neutral
a
site.
competitive game. Oh, at neutral sites, the tickets are like 50-50. So like as long as the fans show up, like it could be interesting.
No, I mean what else? What else we got on our
North Carolina, NC State.
NC State's the better team apparently.
Does North Carolina get upset again? I would
I
consider
think
that.
North Carolina wins this one.
I would consider that an upset. NC State beating them would be an upset. Yeah, granted, NC State's ranked, but North Carolina should be the better team. Like fucking Drake May was a Heisman favorite last year. He's gonna be probably a top 10 pick in the draft. Like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I don't know what they're doing, but yeah, it's basic basically it. Wyoming, Nevada. That's blowout. Wyoming should win.
Yeah, I mean I don't know a lot about Nevada, but I know they're one of the worst teams in the college football right now.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Wyoming's looked pretty good so far this season. I'm just hoping for chaos because
Hey,
if everything just goes like the scripted way, the ending of the season is going to be so boring.
it's a bit of a lackluster weekend, but there's a couple gems in there. There's some potential. I mean, realistically, like there's Ohio State, Michigan, and Oregon, Oregon State, Oregon. Those are like really the two games mostly carrying like the most of the weight.
Yeah, I mean I don't really see. I mean I think
But
Florida could be really good just because no
yeah,
Jordan
the
Travis.
battle of the backups.
Um, other than that, yeah, I don't really
That's like
see
I guess
a
those three.
whole
But
lot.
those are all three big rivalry games. So like,
Yeah, the big and the
any
Iron Bowl as well.
yeah, there's no fucking chance. I would bet. I bet my retirement on Alabama winning. Literally, my retirement on Alabama winning this
No,
game.
no, I think Alabama wins, but like I would not be surprised if Auburn.
Dude, this game could be 60 to like 12.
It could also be like an overtime game.
No, Jalen Milroe is going fucking stupid. He's running. He's pushing 3 rushing touchdowns, and I'm gonna say he gets 5 tutties total.
There's something about this Iron Bowl. Like I just feel like it could go either way. I mean, there's something about these two teams, how much they hate each other. I mean, we just talked about a guy poisoned a tree. Like
I mean,
these two
yeah,
teams hate each other. Like it I've never seen like
anything can happen.
it might be like the most heated rivalry actually between the two teams.
Anything can happen.
But yeah, I mean, realistically, Alabama should whoop their ass. But I don't know. You don't know. I mean, this
Never know.
weekend, I mean, I feel like most of the conference championships are basically locked up.
Yeah,
Because
I
it's gonna
think
be Florida State, Louisville.
as long as Oregon doesn't lose this weekend, Pac-12's locked up. ACC's locked already. SEC's locked already. Big 12's up for
The Big 12 is
grabs.
a mystery.
Big 10, it's basically locked on one side. Winner of
Yeah, just
Michigan,
winner of
Ohio
Ohio
State.
State, Michigan. So we know basically that.
That's it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, what would be really interesting, I believe if Oregon loses, I believe Arizona
It's
goes to
Arizona.
go, and I think
That's a
Arizona could
fucking
knock off
nightmare for Washington. That's
Washington.
a nightmare for them. I would rather play. I'd rather play Arizona, to be honest. I think Oregon's better. Arizona's very, very good. I love Arizona, but I don't think they're as good as Oregon.
I don't know. I think you put those two teams on the
I
same
mean,
field, it could go
Washington
either
did
way.
barely beat both of them, so like it, and those were both good weather. So I don't know. The Pac-12 is a sketchy place for anybody.
I want the Pac-12 to end in chaos. Like I would love to see Arizona as the Pac-12 champs.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
That
That'd
would
be
that would just
sick.
make then like both of them are probably out at that point. So
They just need a like emergency council enact the 12 team this year. Like it would be so nice because
no,
I
the
mean
12 team would be great.
it'd be so nice because like you would have probably Georgia and Alabama. That's two. Ohio State and Michigan. Four. Probably Washington and Oregon. Six. Florida State and Louisville probably. Eight. Liberty, because I think they'd be the
The group of
group of
five.
five, so that's nine. I don't know how the rest would shake out really. Big
We have a good
12.
we'd have a good shot.
You guys would have a good shots. That could be 10. Maybe Missouri 11, and then like fucking LSU, Penn State, Ole Miss. It could be real weird down there at the bottom, but it's basically like almost the entire top 12 right now. Plus or minus a couple of little outliers right around
Yeah,
this
I
year.
would say from like 16 to 11, you could maybe make an argument about those teams.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But
Well,
yeah.
yeah, I wanted to touch on the fucking the new,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, I don't give a fuck today. I'm drunk. Couldn't care less.
Yeah, I'm pretty drunk. Normally I'm a little bit more locked in, and I know where I'm going with what I'm saying. But today, it's Thanksgiving, guys. I mean,
It's the
it,
holidays.
it's
You
it's it's
gotta.
it's the holidays. We're taking it
It's
easy.
our show. We do whatever we want.
Yeah,
Next week,
exactly.
we're aiming to have a guest.
Yeah,
If you watched any of our episodes last week, we're having Shelton back on. He's a Louisville Liberty alum, basically. A big Duke fan, big Liberty fan. I'm pretty sure he roots for Louisville as well. He's a little more tuned in to the kind of outside top 25. Yeah, he seemed a little hot. He's gonna have a lot to say. So hopefully we can find a scheduled time that works for all three of us to get him on. Should be probably one of our more exciting episodes, especially after this weekend. After when we have conference championships locked up, knowing kind of what's coming down the pipe, what's gonna more than likely shake out the playoff spots, because after the conference championships, Ohio State, Michigan's gonna beat Iowa, so that's gonna be a lock. Georgia, Alabama's up in the air. Florida State, Louisville's up in the air, and then depending on what happens to Pac-12, Washington, Oregon could be up in the air. So like, there's a couple. One of them spots is probably a lock, and then three of the ones are kind of up for grabs. So there's gonna be quite a bit of discussions on who we think's gonna be in. Uh, more than likely it's not going to shake out how we predict. I'm sure we'll all three
Never
of us will
knows.
have differing opinions. Who knows? Maybe we all have the same top four at the end of the day, but more than likely not. I know Nick hates Oregon. If any of us go Oregon's way, I honestly I hope Washington fucking wins it
But
all.
I will say if Oregon wins against Oregon State, they do raise that does raise their resume for
Yeah,
me.
for sure, for sure. It's gonna be spicy next 2 weeks, and well, I guess that'll be the end of the episode. You got anything else you want to touch on before we shut it on down?
No, I think we're kind of at the end of the episode.
All I gotta say
So
is fuck Florida, fuck Miami, fuck Clemson, and go Knowles.
yeah, roll tide.
Roll Tide. Yeah, yeah,
Happy Thanksgiving.
yeah. Happy Thanksgiving.
Be
See y'all
responsible
next
for Black
week.
Friday.
Don't drink and drive.